All right, welcome back to Wrestling Retold and Relive with Richie Mars. I am your humble, gracious host, Richie Mars. I haven't been here for a while, but it's okay because 2025 is the year that we're doing another year of this show. That's like every year. Nothing's really changed. The lane stayed the same, but gonna have new guests, new topics, and everything in between. But this is a big one. This is a big one to start off the 2025 season because it is everything John Cena's retirement tour, and I am super duper pumped for it. But so I couldn't do this alone. This is a big topic. This guy's been in WWE since 2002, at least main roster wise. So I couldn't tackle this alone. So I'm going to start by introducing our lovely guest for this roundtable. The first one who pretty much put this together. I take no credit in this. I did absolutely zero work. So the person who did this is the one, the only. She was here for the first John Cena episode, and now the current John Cena episode. It is Michaila The RIng Queen. Michaila, how are we today? Thank you for bringing us all here.
Hi, I'm doing so good. I'm so excited to do this because, the only other episode on this podcast that I did was a John Cena episode. So I very much so wanted to do this one. I want to document his last year, I want to document the retirement tour. And, I know that not all of my expectations are going to be met, but that's okay. It's it's fine. I have unrealistically high expectations because I've been a fan of him for a long time. So I'm excited to see what everyone else thinks and what everyone else's thoughts are going to be.
Yeah, don't worry, John Cena. I have a strong feeling he's not only going to get 17, but he's going to get 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. It's going to be a whole like John Cena
Yeah,
like 2010 year all over
here we
again.
go.
But
Oh,
again, you're not just the only person here. We had to go with your new podcast partner and your best friend, your bestie, and one of my biffles as well. Ebbi, how we doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to be here. I am glad that Michaela told me about this and wanted to do this with me. I'm super excited. The only other episode that I've recorded with you, Richie, was we were talking about the Bella twins, and we started talking about Total Divas and Total Bellas, which didn't necessarily paint John in the best light. Which I'm really happy to talk about all the good stuff because I love John. He debuted on the main roster in '02, and I was born in '01, so he's quite literally like been my entire life. So I'm
I
super
just had
excited.
like my back like just like give out as you said that. So thanks for
I can
that.
feel my knees aching.
Oh my goodness gracious. But thank you for being here, Abby. Always a pleasure to interact with you, not only in the podcast, but each and every day of my life when you text me. But again, now we have to go to almost another veteran of the podcast. He was here for the Who Should Face Rock or Cody Rhodes against Roman Reigns for WrestleMania last year. And it was probably the most civil debate in wrestling history. There's no hands down, there was no yelling, no screaming, and I really
Oh,
did
good.
appreciate that so much because it made my job a whole lot easier. But it is Laugh, not famous. Laugh, how we doing?
I'm cool, man. Thank y'all for having me today. I want John Cena to win every championship in this year. I don't want him to lose. I don't want anyone to get more than a one count on him. So
That's
we're
right.
gonna hopefully get a nice breakdown of what we expect from Cena in this last year, and how many times I will cry because I will cry a lot. So we're gonna talk about it.
Same.
Oh, we're just gonna bury every star they just built up, and then
That's
we're
what I'm
gonna
talking
start
about.
from ground zero. I can't wait for it.
That's what I'm talking
And
right there.
again, now we, last but certainly not least, this man I have a tremendous admiration for on TikTok and all social media. He puts out great content and great videos. His first time on the podcast, Mr. Rant. Thank you for joining us today.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the invite. This is technically like my first podcast one
Oh,
ever.
really?
Well, it's technically my second one, but it's my first one with other wrestling content creators. That's pretty cool. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. So, how this is going to work out, this is going to be a nice little roundtable discussion. I'll bring upon the topic, and then we'll move forward from there. And we're going to kind of almost map out John Cena's year as it stands, some predictions, some outside predictions, what we want to happen, what we don't want to happen. And Michaila brought up a brilliant idea, if we're still in the wrestling space as this year ends, to kind of go back and review everything and see who got the most right, who got the most wrong, and whoever got the most wrong has to listen to the 3.5 hour podcast Pat and I did on the authority angle. That is everyone's punishment. If you get the most wrong, you have to listen to that 3.5 hour episode.
Respectfully, is there another option, Richie?
No.
There's option
Because
three.
that's torturous.
Well, do we get something for getting the most right?
You could come on the podcast again, and but this time you guys will host, and I will just be the guest chilling, and maybe a John Cena shirt. That seems fair.
That seems
I,
fair. I think we could work something
I
out.
think I could. I think I could pull some strings. Get a John Cena
Oh,
shirt for the
Richie,
winner.
you're not really doing well in the wager with me department.
Well, the thing is, Ebby, well, that's for a different time and a different place. And I told you that I am keeping that end of the bargain. I just asked for an itinerary. But that is neither here nor there. Let's start with the first thing we're going to discuss. And of course, John Cena at the Royal Rumble. He was the first person to declare. And I'm not sure about any of you. You guys don't need an answer or anything like this. I miss the days where people had to qualify for the Royal Rumble, because I could come out on TV. I could declare for the Rumble. That doesn't mean I'm going to get in. But again, I'm not signed to the company allegedly. But again, how do you guys feel about this being kind of the kickoff for John Cena and his road to WrestleMania? Michaila, we can start with you. And what do you think about this John Cena being the first one declaring for the Rumble?
So, um, I think that in theory, it's a good thing that declare for the Royal Rumble. Of course, that's one of the first things that you do.
Mhm.
It's WrestleMania season. And I'm really excited to see because it seems like the Royal Rumble this year is going to be stacked. It seems like it's going to be stacked. We're going to have CM Punk in there. We're going to have Drew McIntyre in there. We're going to have Seth Rollins in there. Like this is really going to be for the veterans type of Royal Rumble is what I'm feeling. And I'm fine with that because again, it's his last year. So let's let him live it up. Do I think that he's going to win the Royal Rumble? No, I don't. Specifically because of his promo. Now, when he was on Netflix and he was doing his promo and he was talking about he really emphasized how he is on a losing streak. And not only is he on a losing streak, but that losing streak has made him feel like he doesn't have it anymore. He doesn't think he has it in here. He doesn't think he has it to compete with the rest of the crowd. And so he wants to earn his way from the bottom up. And I think that's going to involve, as much as I hate to say it, because I don't want to say it, it makes me feel like he's not going to win the Royal Rumble. It makes me feel like this retirement run is going to be a climb from the bottom to the top, just like his entire career was. And if it ends up with him on top, I'm fine with it. And it better. It better.
Yeah, as long as he wins, because he was really laying it on thick that number 17 was the pivotal point of his promo that people wanted it and he didn't think it was happening. But he's got to throw his name in the hat for the lottery anyway. So I'm gonna pivot over to Laugh. And Laugh, do you agree with Michaila about John Cena and not winning the Rumble necessarily, maybe doing something else? Like, what are your thoughts on Cena being the number one person to declare for the Rumble?
Um, I think it's cool. I one of my favorite Royal Rumbles is the one where he came back from his injury. Um,
I was actually there.
were you
No
I
way,
was
really?
there. Yeah, I was in the building.
Oh my! I love that Rumble so much.
dang.
But like that was just like to me that was the perfect example of what I want Cena to do. Just as far as like obviously he's not coming back from injury. He's really just doing this for the last time. So I want it to be as grandeur as far as like the presentation and everything. So I wanted him to come in at number one because I wanted him to get like to soak in that last entrance instead of just running out there. And once the Rumble starts, people are coming in every what they say 90 seconds, even though it's never 90 seconds. Uh, So I mean, if they give him his own entrance and then he comes out number one, I do want him to win because, like I said earlier, I don't think he should get any kind of loss this year. And I think that's very selfish on my part. But it's his last year. You know what I'm saying? And I do think that there are many different superstars. I think Rock has a big chance of winning it, as much as I would hate that. But
Number 31.
exactly. But I do think that they're trying to prepare for him to face Gunther at WrestleMania, and the easiest way to get there without doing a whole bunch of storyline stuff is just by having him win the Rumble.
Mhm.
Even if he fights Cody, easier way to get there is just by having him win the Rumble. So I think they're going to do so, and of course, if it was up to me, I would definitely have him win. So that's just where I see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's very interesting because like he mentioned not winning a one-on-one match. I think it's over like 2,000 days or something.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm glad they acknowledge that because sometimes WWE likes to do the Men in Black thing where it's like the mind wipe machine, where it's just like this didn't happen, it's not
Yeah.
canon. Shawn Michaels retired in 2010, but it's just like more of this is John Cena and this is his last year, and we're gonna start off with a bang. He's the first person in the Rumble, and now I'm gonna pivot to Ebby. And Ebby, what do you think is gonna happen with John Cena? We already have one person saying he's not winning the Rumble. We got another person saying he is winning the Rumble. Where do you fall in that camp?
No, I don't think John is winning.
Mm-hmm.
For several reasons. One, because of just how Michaila said, like he really like drove it home that he's on this losing streak. Um, Not only do I think he's not winning, but I don't want him to win. I want to get everything out of this retirement tour that we could possibly get. Because as I've mentioned in a few of our lives, Richie, like you can be in pursuit of number one contendership for forever, but you're only going to be in pursuit of the title once you're in that number one contendership for so long. So if we get a Royal Rumble win out of him, that means there's probably not a good chance that we're going to get a Money in the Bank match out of him. There's probably not a good chance we're going to get an Elimination Chamber match out of him. There's probably not a good chance that we're going to get him in the King of the Ring tournament. And I want all of those things. I want to see him in all of these big matches for this last run. Um, Not to mention, like, of course, like it's WWE, like it coming from a business perspective, it only makes sense for them to run the clock with him. That's how we're like you're gonna get the most eyes on your product. That's how you're gonna get the most money for your product, is if you put him in all of these big time stipulation matches throughout the year. He's in a match, maybe not necessarily main eventing, but in a match at every single PLE uh, throughout the year and really running the clock. And I really think that that's the road that they're gonna take with this. I think it's very much so gonna be a we're counting down the days now, and there's only so many days left. Is he gonna win the title? Is he gonna get number 17 or is he not? And I definitely see number 17 in his future, but I don't think we're going to get it until farther towards the end of the year.
I agree. The money is definitely in the chase for anybody. Like it was for Cody for the longest time. Now it's John, especially for this being his last year as an active competitor. Number 17 is what a lot of people want. And I know some people wanted, for him to complete the Grand Slam, but comparatively, number 17 versus getting a Grand Slam, number 17 is more unique. It's more diverse because no one's had that in that WWE mythos. And I'm gonna like pivot to Ring Rant right here. Now with John Cena essentially being like this is his year, he's essentially going to be one of, if not the most pivotal person in this WWE year. Do you think him and being in the Rumble? Do you think that's a good start for a storyline to WrestleMania, or do you think it's a good storyline start for the rest of his year?
I would say it would be a good start for this rest of his year. And I would agree with what Laf said, that I think it would be perfect that they should throw him in right at the beginning of the Rumble, let him get his full entrance and enjoy it, soak it in, especially because one of his biggest moments is that Royal Rumble moment where he returned and no one was expecting him to return. Um, and then I don't think he should win it either though, because like Michaila said, when he kind of dwelled on his losing streak so much, that made me feel like that chase, like you said, also is kind of what they're going to be going for, at least for a little while. And I would love to see John Cena in the Elimination Chamber, and I would like to see him win it and just walk into Mania with the title.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's always interesting because John Cena, he's had great records in all these specialty type of matches, like the Rumble, he's won twice. The Chamber, I believe, he's won 3 or 4 times. And Mania, his record's nothing to sneeze at either for the most part when it comes to big time matches. And depending if he wins or loses the Rumble, it's really going to pivot his story. And they've been advertising him in the Elimination Chamber. This is going to be his last time in Toronto, which makes me think it's more likely that he'll lose at the Rumble and then win at the Chamber if they want to go that title shot direction. Which brings me to my next point, and Ring Rant, I'll go start with you with this one. Do you think John Cena's match at WrestleMania is a championship match, or do you think it's going to be something completely different?
So I guess it kind of depends. Like if he goes into the Chamber and he wins the Chamber, I would like to say that it would be for that number 17 for the at the Chamber. Have him get it, walk into Mania with the title, have him enjoy it, soak it in, even bring the spinner out if he wants to or something, just for old time's sake, and then lose it at WrestleMania to put over somebody else at the time and have him finish out the rest of his year doing whatever he needs to do.
Yeah, that would be
Or
one
maybe
way
play
to.
out the story of him trying to chase 18. Say
Yeah,
screw it.
it's like you got a lot of different branching pathways. It's like it's more options than a 2K game, which I'm kind of sour at because every time I play WWE 2K, they only give you like 2 options, and they're usually like the more watered down options. But
Yeah, every
I'm
time
gonna
I
go.
power too, because it doesn't work. Have to
Yeah,
nothing works. It
it's
drives me
like
nuts.
it's either do you want to be really good or do you want to be bad? I'm like, can I pick the middle road option where it's a little interesting? No, you
Yeah,
got to
right.
Those
choose
damn
one of
games.
them.
I hate those damn games. I hate them.
The
Oh,
storylines and the writing are just the most cheesy thing ever. Too. It's just
Wow. Oh, my favorite
every time.
storyline is I'm gonna show my age here. It's SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, and
all of them.
yeah, so you might know where I'm going with it. It's the Edge and Candice Michelle one where she has like the wand
Yeah,
and like transforms you into a
Oh,
diva.
yeah.
And I just love it because it's like I usually played Cena for it, and then Cena's like he's like what the hell, and then it's just like all these like different things that he has to do. Like Edge gets turned into Boogeyman, and it's like, and then it was revealed that your character got a concussion from a magic wand, and that's why you've been imagining this whole crazy scenario.
honestly, I would take that over any of the storylines 2K has written in those games any day.
Be for real.
Oh my
Be for
gosh!
real.
No, no, I didn't even play 2K20. But
You didn't
the
miss
only thing
anything.
I was interested in was the broken Matt cameo, and that was the only thing I watched of it. But going to Ebby, what do you think is John Cena's path to WrestleMania? Is it a title match? Is it something completely different? Are we going to get that oh so requested Logan Paul match at a WrestleMania? What do you think?
I feel like I truly genuinely have no idea what John Cena's path to WrestleMania is gonna be. I just don't think it's gonna be for the title. I think they're gonna play the long game with this one. I think they're gonna run the clock with it. And but I could definitely see it being something like him against Logan Paul, because like Logan is like the heel of all heels in the company right now. So it would only make sense. Plus, like this is somebody that they can put him in a match with that is newer, dynamic talent. They can put him in a match with him Nope, you don't have to worry about the word that we all hate, buried, being slung around in the event that John wins. Um, and it can genuinely just be an all around feel good moment. And it's something that it's a match that I think would carry a lot of weight. Of course, not equal weight to being a championship match, but it's something it would truly be a match that is WrestleMania worthy for the hype behind it alone. Not even mentioning like the pure athleticism that we would see in that match.
It would be very impressive, and I know a lot of people rag on Logan Paul for his personal endeavors, and I don't really blame him. But again, the guy, when given the opportunity, like last year at WrestleMania, it was Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, facing off against LA Knight. And a lot of those are serviceable matches, and he can garner heat, and it would be an easy match to put on because John Cena is going to get universally cheered, which sounds bizarre because just growing up in the era of John Cena, just him getting booed was a part of his thing. It just seems like maybe it's like a full circle moment where it's like people are actually 100% behind John Cena. I knew people who were in Austin Theory's corner at WrestleMania 39 probably more than people would be over Logan Paul's corner if it was if it was that. But go
I
go
hear "Let's Go Cena." Cena sucks in my sleep. Okay.
well, the crowd always sings it too. They did like the whole medley thing, and I just remember like Cena like during the entrance when everyone's like singing John Cena sucks, like he's just like bopping to it with the guy too. So it's like he has a good sense of humor about it, and we like people with good senses of humor. But going to you, Left, you thought that Cena, like winning the Rumble, facing Gunther or Cody Rhodes, it seemed like you were a little bit more towards the Gunther side than the Cody. And if
Yeah.
that is the case, or if not the case, why would you choose one champion over the other, or do you think it's going to be a different match entirely?
I just think that with this last run, the run the clock option, it makes a lot of sense. And when I was hearing Evie speak about it, that makes a lot of sense. I think I just don't trust Triple H at this moment with the long storylines because he took two people that I love, Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, and destroyed the storyline. And I could never hate them, but
He
the
just
storyline went on
missed
for too
so
long,
long.
you know. And it's like I feel with Triple H. No, to me, Triple H hasn't done a good Royal Rumble since he's been in charge. I don't think he's done a good Royal Rumble since he's been in front, and that hurts me because I do, like I assume most people do, like that Triple H is here now rather than the other person. But it's more so like with Cena, I feel like everything has to be like right now because I don't want him one. I don't want him to get hurt
Mm.
because he last time I saw him wrestle against Theory, he didn't look that good, And I was watching rose colored glasses because like oh it's Cena, But Theory was obviously quicker, and Theory was obviously leading the match. Cena was calling out spots really loud and stuff like that, like he always does. But it broke my heart to see him that slow. So when he's in the ring, like in a rumble, I feel like he can come out and even if it's one or if it's 30, it's not that many spots he has to do. It's not so much focus on him; it's focus on everybody.
Yeah.
You know, um, as far as the whole Gunther thing, though, I don't think you should have a. I saw some people say that they were trying to think of a Cody and Cena storyline. I'm like, why would you put two faces against each other and possibly risk Cody getting booed? Because Cody's your biggest face right now. When Cena leaves, Cody's still going to be there, I think. So I don't think you should do the whole face versus face thing. I really hate that. I think it should always be face versus heel, especially at WrestleMania. Um, I'm not with the whole Logan Paul thing because I just despise Logan Paul. He
I'm with
can wrestle a good match. Cool. I know some friends that can wrestle a good match. They're better people as well. So he doesn't impress me. You know,
Valid.
uh,
That's the best
you know what I'm
response
saying?
that I've ever heard.
You know, he can do a bump that lariat. Hangman Adam Page can do it too. I
Yeah.
love him too. Like I don't care.
Here's the
You
thing: we
know,
are going to get, and I guarantee this, we're going to get a John Cena Prime flavor during this last run. We're going to get a John.
We just better.
Yeah, because it's going to be like a West
I
Newberry
That would be the
flavor.
first wine bottle I ever bought.
I tried that.
Same.
I tried
That's so
the
clever.
ice pop one. It's so bad. It's so
I
bad.
actually don't mind the ice pop one. Like
You
I'm
don't
more of
you
a
like it?
I
Tried.
was more of a Meta Moon guy. Like it tasted like
I don't know
Skittle.
what that is.
It tasted like Skittles, and you could sell me on Skittles.
Hmm, I'm intrigued.
Like a drink that's just Skittles. I'm like, all right, that's
That
fine.
sounds good.
I can manage it. But
Shit.
yeah,
But
it
yeah,
does make sense because it's like John Cena is the quintessential like never give up, and Gunther's all about making people give up and not being as
yeah.
confident in himself. So I do understand that.
Gunther Gunther's that good to make everyone look like they're supposed to be in the ring with him
Yeah.
at any point in their careers, rookie or not.
Mhm.
And obviously Cena is not a rookie, so Gunther would probably be playing a different role for the first time. Gunther's usually playing the superiority role. Cena's going to be the one who's like, I've been here before you were. You
Mhm.
know, he can, and the promos between them will be great because there's no power dynamic.
Mhm.
Gunther can't say so. Gunther can't say things that Cena hasn't seen yet. You know what I'm saying? Cena can talk to him from like a little brother level, and we don't really see that with Gunther.
Oh, he's got a
And
little
I think
bro him.
that
Oh.
would be crazy. Cena can little bro
Give him a
anybody,
little
you know.
noogie.
Oh,
The thing is,
I would love
you
that.
can't
I
do too
really
many
would.
noogies because Cena has like he has the spot in the back.
He has to cut his
It's a
hair.
perfect spot
Yeah.
for him.
Oh,
Hey,
He
you
has
want
to
him to
cut
go
his
like full
hair.
like
Just
retro
make
like
it big.
military cut?
That that's the thing I didn't
yes.
mention. If Cena doesn't cut his
Massage the
hair,
bold.
if he doesn't cut his hair, it's over. If he comes out with the hair he has now, it's
I,
cooked.
I,
Nothing good is
the
coming.
best meme that
I,
I've seen was like they were hyping Penta's debut, and it
Yeah,
was like the circle and the slash, and somebody did like the back of Cena's head, and it was a perfect like zero and the slash for the Penta logo, and I'm just like,
that
oh, I
now
can't
that's just
unsee that
uncalled
now.
for. That's just uncalled. That's
Oh, like that's
nothing
That's
like that.
adorable.
disrespectful.
That's crazy.
Oh my
Nah, but yeah,
hey, Laugh, this is
that's just what I
slightly
think.
off topic, but it's one of the points that you made. You said that Triple H never did a good Rumble. Last year's Women's Royal Rumble. Yes? No? Didn't hit for you? Because I thought it was awesome.
Mhm.
No?
I don't think Triple H is good at booking the women's division.
Okay.
I think
I'm
a woman should be
curious.
booking the women's division
I
because
agree with that,
you know,
actually.
I don't think Triple H is good at it.
The thing with the women's division, and we're off topic, but it's all right. It's a podcast. Uh, the thing is, it's like there's always like one central women's storyline throughout the whole entire title feud that goes on for a
Too long.
year. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, way too long. Like last year, it was Rhea holding the title, but she was more with the Judgment Day, and they wanted to keep Rhea and Becky apart to save for Mania. And then
Mhm.
this year, it was the Rhea Liv thing, which again helped Liv, but it's like neither of their characters really developed. I think the only one who got development was Dom, and that
Yeah,
was pretty much it. It's like it's not a knock
Honestly,
on the ladies,
let's be real.
yeah.
but it's just
It's
like
a
when you get the most development as the guy who like fantasizes about chicken tendies, then you got a little bit of a problem.
You have
you
a big problem.
he keeps doing it. So I'm like, I want him to do everything just like get out the way so we don't have him just ruin it. And if you ruin Cena's last run, I can't defend him anymore. I can't do it. I can't do it. You know.
Oh, hopefully it doesn't come to that. But Michaela,
Yeah.
what do you think is the most likely road to WrestleMania for John Cena?
So I feel like losing the Rumble, I don't think that he has to be in the actual Elimination Chamber match. And I liked where Ebby was going, but I'm going to pivot it just a little bit. And instead of Logan Paul, I think it's going to be Dominic Mysterio. Because I think by WrestleMania, the Judgment Day will be done. And I feel like that's going to be part of Dominic Mysterio trying to prove himself to Finn again and the crew before the Judgment Day finally think everything that is holy implodes.
But we just got their sweet mid rap theme. What are you talking about?
I need it. I need it gone. I need it gone today.
It's bad.
Today.
It's very
Okay.
bad.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I no.
Oh.
And then I think that I don't think he's gonna win it at WrestleMania either. I think that this will be more of a later in the year thing that he does win his 17th title, but I think WrestleMania is gonna be another loss because it's I think he's gonna face Gunther at WrestleMania, and it's Gunther. And I love John Cena. I love him. I love him so. He's my goat. He's literally my goat. But I he's not in his prime. He's not in his prime like he was. He's not prime John Cena. He's regular Hollywood John Cena now. And I just don't think that I think he'll put on a good match, but I don't think that in any realm of possibility would he realistically beat Gunther.
Yeah, he's not in his
In
prime.
any
He's
realm
not
of
in his prime
possibility.
because one, he's older, and two, they didn't decide on the flavor the John Cena prime flavor would be.
I knew you were gonna say that. I did. I
Gee,
I'm
I
not
did.
gotta
letting you get.
say that West Newberry flavor was clever.
Right?
That's
That
I
is.
think it's. I think it's like
That's
it's a
clever.
bar.
Oh, I just got it. I just got what you said.
Yeah,
That
it is a
okay.
bar. Trust me,
I
the West
That's a
Dewberry
bar.
flavor.
that just connected
That's a
what you
bar.
said. Okay, I see where
that's
you're going.
That's
clever.
hilarious.
I'm
Wow.
just saying, I love the wordplay that I do. A little patsy on the backseat. But what I think may happen, because John Cena, it's all about kind of like we're gonna get the greatest hits, but we're also gonna try to experiment with new things here and there. I think with CM Punk, since he declared for the Rumble, again another declaration, people start earning things. But
I'm with you on that. I completely.
with Punk saying like doing the whole call out John Cena thing, I could see, since they do like the holiday tour at the end of the year. I'm going way too forward in the future, like because they usually hit Chicago and Boston. Usually, I could see them doing like a John Cena special PLE. The last time is now, and then you have potentially Punk versus Cena in that world title match, and it could be in Chicago or Boston. But this time, Punk walks in as the champion, and Cena's the challenger. So I see Michaela's getting a little
You're gonna
misty
have to
eyed
stop
right
saying
there.
time is now for at least a few minutes before we
Yeah.
get bursting
But
into
I'm
it's
trying
tears.
so hard not
yeah,
to.
yeah, it's just like one of those things where it's like a full circle moment where it's just like this is like Cena's one of his best high profile matches, and now it's like here it is. Now it's like the final face off between what I think is John Cena's top rival, if not top two, top three, because it seems to be like a mixture of Edge, Randy, and Punk. And I'm going to start with Laugh on this one. Which reunion match or return to a feud do you want to see Cena have the most? Is it Randy? Is it Punk? We can't say Edge because he's coping somewhere else. But do you think it's going to be like somebody that we're not expecting, or do you think it's just those top two are the ones that we're going to see the more likely?
Damn. For me, I'm hoping that it's the original Tribal Chief Roman Reigns
Mm.
because I hate that he's never beaten him.
Mm.
Meanwhile, he's cooked Roman in many different promos viciously. And like peak Roman, like Roman where he's at now. He beat him. He got him during that time too.
Mm.
And the fact that he hasn't been able to deliver on that, and the fact that he's going on record and said Roman is the greatest of all time when he in fact is the greatest of all time. I don't know why Cena would say something like that to me. I felt disrespected saying that,
Yeah.
but it's just I don't know what he's trying to do there.
I would say
But
so.
why would you even say that? But yeah, I think he needs to get his way back on Roman. I would love to see him and Randy again. Him and Punk would be him and Punk. I wanted that match to happen on the first episode of Netflix,
Mm.
on Raw on Netflix. That's what I really wanted, but um, obviously we didn't get that. But yeah, I do think that Roman should be someone who he gets to beat because Roman kind of he isn't really on the incline as much right now. It's more like a middle road because he just beat Solo, but now we're trying to figure out what he's gonna do. And he not winning the Rumble. I hope not. So I do think a Roman Reigns match would be something that everyone can get into again, and they can have another promo battle,
Mm.
and Roman can tell Cena some things that aren't true, and Cena can tell him some things that are true, and Cena wins this time. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying. So I don't know.
I do have a scenario where Roman does win the Rumble. Now hold be with me for
Are you?
a second.
Okay, okay,
So hypothetically, not saying that I want this to happen. Hypothetically, Roman wins the Rumble, right?
yeah.
We still have a favor to be cashed in by Punk.
Mm-hmm.
So what if at the Chamber you have Roman versus Punk for that title match, and then somebody like a Drew McIntyre or a Seth Rollins costs Roman that match to Punk gets the win. And then Punk gets that world title match at Mania, which is starting the slow burn of that CM Punk heel turn that is going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
And then
Wait,
that's
like
how we get that road to Punk to Cena at the end of the year. And this is completely my fantasy booking. I'm not saying like this is what's
Hey.
going to happen, but it's like
there's
I'm
no
like,
way Drew or Seth would help CM Punk
but the thing,
win.
but the thing is, it's just like they take both of them out, and it's just like we don't care which one of them wins. Like we're
Oh, I
just
see.
trying
Yeah,
to,
no, that I could go for that for sure.
yeah. But it's not like Seth like being like I forgot about Punk, but it's like it's almost in that moment like when it's like Punk and Roman, take the place of Seth and Cody from WrestleMania 40, where it's like Seth has to choose to hit one with the chair, and the hate for Roman eclipses his hate for Punk in that moment.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
That would be interesting. I ain't gonna.
I
In
still
my
don't
first
know Roman win the
reaction, like,
Rumble,
yeah,
but I see where you're going at.
yeah,
yeah,
like it would make the Rumble mean absolutely meaningless. Don't get me wrong, but it's just one of those things where you could spin the Rumble a little bit for it's like, oh, they're going this direction and it's gone.
and
Yeah.
you were right about the qualifying matches because they used to do Money in the Bank qualifying matches, number one
Yeah.
contender matches, and they just
Yeah,
don't do them anymore.
yeah.
This is like,
Yeah, I mean, granted, like I remember when they last did like the Rumble qualifying matches, and it was like Shawn versus Trevor Murdoch. I knew like Shawn was gonna win, but give me a reason why he's going to win over just because he's Shawn Michaels. But
yeah.
going up to Ebbi right here, what classic rival of John Cena do you think is most likely going to happen, or do you want to happen?
For me, there's two
Mm,
things. One is a match, and one is in an in-ring verbal exchange. For me, the match, the rivalry that I need a playback on is John and Miz. To be honest, like
don't do this to
John
me.
Cena
Don't do this to
looking
me,
the
Bestie.
Miz in his
Beth,
face,
don't do this to me.
Not a Miz guy.
like
I like
John
Miz,
Cena
but
looking.
I have I I have like very extreme PTSD from their first feud when Miz was in the cargo pants and like John Cena did like the wipe the feet at the mat kind of deal after the match. I think it was at the Bash and it was like 5 minutes, get in, get out, and I'm like, oh, they didn't give him a chance.
For me, like
Okay.
it's one like John Cena looking the Miz in his face, going, "You fire and blanks their sport," like lives rent free in my head. Like, because that was crazy. Not to mention, like they have a little bit of unfinished business. Like the last time they really like ever interacted, like was that feud,
Mm.
and the last thing we saw from that feud is Miz and Maurice getting in the ring, cosplaying John and Nikki, and then we had, of course, Shinsuke's main roster debut immediately after that. Um, but like I need it. I need it. I know the mic work is gonna be chef's kiss. I know it's gonna be a decent match because it's someone, similar, age, um, that he's not gonna have to worry about having to keep up with the entire match. Like they can kind of go slow, steady at their own pace. And like as far as the in-ring exchange I was referring to, I need a playback on John Cena and Stephanie McMahon somehow. Like some of the most iconic moments in
Oh
John
my
Cena's
god.
career has been him and Stephanie going back and forth
Their
on the mic in
first
the center
segment
of that ring,
together,
and I need it.
their first segment together on like a SmackDown in '03
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
canceled
That's a
I
Oh
tight
immediately.
yeah.
rope.
need it.
That's a tight rope to walk.
Raw's on Netflix now, okay?
Look, I
Like
understand
Hey,
that doesn't mean I need to see it.
They would never
I
go
need
that far. They would
Oh
never
my
go that.
that's a
gosh,
tight
yeah.
rope. Oh, that's a tight
like
rope.
They might poke at it
I
a little
want
bit, but
Stephanie. I want Stephanie to dig into her bag. Like she better crimp that hair. She better put on a leather skirt, okay?
the
Like she
leather
better
pants
dig
and shit.
into her
Oh
bag.
my gosh. Ooh, I,
Think pieces on that one, man. Oh
you,
boy.
you know what? After this podcast is done, I for some reason I'm just gonna go in my room and pray. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna pray, and we're gonna take it from there. But Ring Rant, what classic John Cena rival do you think is going to happen, or would you like to happen?
So for me personally, if I could pick anybody, immediately the first answer is Edge, and I wish it could be Edge more than anybody, to be
Right.
honest. But since that's not gonna happen, I I would say that I do, as far as like mic exchanges go, I need to see him and R Truth just having interactions throughout the year for sure. But rivalry wise, I would love to see him and Randy Orton run it back for
Mm,
sure. Is in my eyes, John Cena's biggest rivalries were Edge, Randy Orton, and Bray Wyatt.
mm,
Two of those cannot be used, so go with Randy Orton.
mm. Do you think this is just a follow up? Do you think a segment or maybe like an interaction between John Cena and the Wyatt Six is in the future?
I would love that. I don't know how they would make that story
Oh,
sense, and we're also not 100% sure if the Wyatt Six are on SmackDown or not yet, according to Karrion Cross. So I guess we're gonna
Transfer
have to
portal,
wait.
baby. Transfer portal.
Yeah, right. So, but I
not
mean,
gonna lie, I would be
that
so
would be,
down for them to
yeah, I would
target
love
him.
that, especially because that would be a huge deal for the Wyatt Six. Oh
Mm.
yeah, I say
Yeah, because the Wyatt Six have I don't want to say fallen off, but it's like they haven't really given them anything to like really sink their teeth into, other
not
than
yet.
the VHS promos. But it's hopefully it's cooking. It's cooking, and
Yeah,
if I know Triple H's booking style is, it's one of those crock pots. It's like it's one of those 12-hour meals you gotta like kind of chill for a little bit.
Slow as hell.
Yep, but
slow
it's like,
as.
but when it
Not the
happens,
12-hour slow cook.
but when it happens, oh, what do the people say? Oh, cinema. That's what they say. They say
Cinema.
it's cinema, cinematic.
Yeah,
True.
But Michaela, what classic John Cena rival would you like to see? And then I'll give my very petty re- response of who I would jealously like to see John Cena face.
Well, I'm sure you know who it's gonna be because it was my favorite feud that he had in general, and it's with CM Punk.
Hmm.
I'm and Ebby's making a face, and I know she's making a face, and it's
I
okay.
want to watch him.
We have this
CM
argument, bestie.
10 seconds.
It's okay, you know. We are besties regardless of our opinions, and that's why we get along so well.
Yeah, like it's cool. We can still be besties and you be wrong. It's cool.
Sure, sure thing, sure thing, sure thing. But it's definitely CM Punk because I came onto the CM Punk train a little late because I wasn't a big fan of him in ECW. I was not a really big fan of him when he was straight edge. It was not, Serena Deeb loved her to death, but that was not her finest moment, and that's okay. But when he cut the hair and he was doing his thing, I really started to get into it. And that John Cena feud, as much as it sucks because it was his last feud in the company, was really what made me such a big fan because they worked together really well. The promos were amazing, and CM Punk spits facts, and that's all I'll say before she gets on to me. CM Punk spits facts,
Listen,
and
Michaela,
that was some
you're,
of his best work.
you're gonna get me in trouble with Ebby. This ain't a CM Punk pod. We're gonna have that debate in the future, and trust me,
Oh, I
I'm
know.
trying to get the
Oh, I
I
I'm
know.
would love
trying
to
to
be a
get
part.
I'm
Trash
trying to get
argument,
the
please.
sides. Like I'm pro
Down.
I am pro Punk, but man,
Man.
it is a war up there. It is a
But yeah,
war.
so I want that. I want them to run it back, and I want them to run that back at SummerSlam.
Mm.
I want them to run that back at SummerSlam, and I'm not sure how we get there, but that's what I want to happen because SummerSlam was one of their, in my opinion, best matches.
Mm.
And so I really want to see them go at it again. And I want to see John Cena kind of comment on, how CM Punk left and came back, and now all of a sudden he's a company guy, because I feel he was making fun of him when he was here the last time
Hmm.
for how much of a company guy he was, and here we are,
What, what,
same shoes.
well, the fun thing about, CM stands for company man. That's what it stands for.
I knew it.
Is
I
that
knew it.
so?
Knew it.
It's not Cookie Monster. It's not Crooked Moonsault. It's not C. Montgomery Burns. It's company man.
I knew it.
But
Makes
who
sense.
who I want John Cena to face, and this is completely petty on my part. I don't think it's gonna happen, but this is what I want to happen because I remember younger teenage Richie Mars watching Monday Night Raw in 2011, and I see one of the greatest of all time, Rey Mysterio, win the WWE Championship.
Oh,
I knew this was going the
And I
same.
was so
You said that.
excited
Like, all right.
because Ray didn't win the WWE Championship often, but
Oh
when he did,
no.
I was like, "Oh, this is cool." The title he was holding was the replica title, but it doesn't matter. He's champion. But then, but then, Mister COO Triple H walks out and says, well, since I'm in charge, John Cena is going to get a title match right now. After Rey Mysterio had a grueling match with The Miz. I know grueling and The Miz don't go together, but go with me on this narrative
it was
tangent I'm
grueling. It
going in.
was
It
grueling.
was
It was.
grueling.
It
It was
was.
grueling for me.
Like
It was something.
he evaded a
It
cash
was
in from
something.
I forget his name, but he's not important. But but like all that happened, like then Ray and John Cena have this. It was a fun match, John Cena and Ray when like they have like good chemistry together. But then an AA guy got hit with a Rey Mysterio, and John Cena as the babyface after beating a weakened Rey Mysterio who is billed as 5'6", 175, did this to one of the goats. And he shows respect afterwards, and Ray's like, "Yeah, no problem, man." And I was like, "Yes, problem, man."
So many problems.
Like you
I
could
take
have put, you
everything I
could.
said. I want John Cena to win the title, and I want Ray to take it from him. I take back everything I said.
That's what I need. I
Oh
need that
wow.
to happen. You got Penta there, have Penta help out. Have all of them just jump them. And I'm like, nah, this is for Ray. This ain't the John Cena retirement tour. This is the Rey
For
Mysterio
2011.
redemption tour.
Yeah,
He
that
got
For
the
has,
real.
he got the stem cells now. He's moving better than ever, so
Yeah.
he can do it. But that's like my petty reason, along with the CM Punk year end story that
okay
I
with that. With
pitched. But
I'm a
yeah, like with all that, venomous anger that I've been holding on for since 2011. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead above surface a little bit, and we're gonna go to something that I feel like not a lot of people will talk about when it comes to Cena's run, because we're always booking like what we want to happen and what we think's gonna happen, but we're not talking about what we think's gonna happen, but we don't want to happen. So, with John Cena's retirement tour, it's not going to be how we envision it. There's a strong possibility that it doesn't meet our idealistic expectations because he is, for a lot of people, the greatest of all time. And it's going to be hard to kind of traject that into a story that's going to be satisfying for many, many, many different people. So, Ebby, I'm going to start with you. What do you think, like, whether it's a match, a segment, that we're going to see from John Cena's retirement tour that you think we're going to see, but you don't want to see, and you're just like dreading it?
What I don't want to see that I know is going to happen is once he finally, gets that title, he's he's going to lose it, and he's 9.99 times out of 10 it's going to be him putting over one of the up and coming guys, because that's just such a John Cena thing to do. Like, he he basks in the glory of putting over younger up and coming talent. And I don't want that. I want him to be selfish so bad. I want him to go out like on his last appearance, his last match, and just vacate the title. He's been doing this for over 20 years. He doesn't need to put anybody else over. If anybody deserves to go out on top, If anybody in the history of WWE deserves to go out on top, it is John Felix Anthony Cena.
Oh,
Okay,
full government
he
name too.
deserves it.
I agree with
He
that.
deserves it. And I'm so not interested in seeing him put anybody else over because he doesn't need to. He has paid his dues, not just in WWE in the ring, but from a corporate perspective in WWE. He's paid more than just his dues. And I don't need to see it. I don't care about any of the new guys finally, like, and this is them making their mark, and they get to say they beat the greatest of all time for the title. I don't care. He deserves to go out on
You see, my dream scenario for that is, and this is me kind of half joking. So, end of the year, like John Cena's like on Raw or SmackDown praising the next generation, and then you got Obafemi come out, and John
Yeah.
Cena's like, so you think you have what it takes? And it's like, why do you think you have what it takes to step up to John Cena? And Obafemi just goes ruthless aggression, and then it's like he smacks him, and then it's like Cena just kind of collapsed into dust, and then we got like the
Oh wow.
Obafemi era, and I would be like,
desire
I
that
say,
because then, like, if it's a scenario in which John has the title and like Oba takes the title off of him, that means we're like almost like 99.99% guaranteed a Brock Lesnar comeback because you know what happens when there are black WWE champions.
Oh no.
You know what happens.
I was hoping you didn't say it. I was
I
hoping. I
ain't
was like,
gonna
please.
I ain't gonna acknowledge like that part because it's just like it's a big discussion point. But like this is just a side part. Have you guys heard that people are calling themselves Oba feminists as like the fan base of Oba Femi
That's
people? Yeah,
fantastic.
they're Oba feminists,
I'm with
and
it.
I'm like, you know
Hey,
what? Sometimes
I
the internet
That's
like annoys me, but
beautiful.
sometimes I'm just like,
Sometimes
you got a point.
I
I
agree.
get
so
you.
so
I
like
see Paul. I can't come up with anything better than that.
Yeah, it's like you
Paul,
could be an obo feminist. You could be what is it? An Homo sapien. That was another one. We got a lot of
Yeah.
like good like fan like nicknames, and you know what? I'm here for all the stan culture.
Need a nickname. I'm just here for Trick Willy Wonka, okay?
Yeah, I can't wait for the spin-off movie. He's gonna make a cameo in Wonka too. Believe that. But I'm gonna go over the ring rant now. Ring rant. What is a segment or a match that you're dreading that it's going to happen and is most likely going to happen when it comes to John Cena and his retirement tour run?
Um, so I have a feeling, since especially brought up a handful of times already during this podcast, I have a feeling that there's a good chance that John Cena is going to face Logan Paul at WrestleMania. And as much as I do think Logan Paul is incredible in the ring, I don't want to see John Cena's last match at WrestleMania to be with Logan Paul. I just like, honestly, anybody else. I don't want to see is him not at least one time come out with the Doctor of Thugonomics theme song with the spinner belt. That's the one thing I want to see the most. This at least even just for a promo or just a segment, just one time, just one more time. I want to see the Doctor of Thugonomics so bad.
I do like a good Doctor of Thugonomics appearance, and now that we're
That's
on Netflix, like the like he could actually be like the Doctor of Thugonomics.
yeah, he can like swear and say some funny things up on Netflix a little bit. And like I even commented on one of my videos. I said if the Doctor of Thugonomics shows up and does the attitude adjustment, they need to call it the FU.
Oh, that's exactly what it needs to be,
Yeah.
because
Would be
I
such
remember when when they first called it the FU. Like I remember watching the thing. Like I think Cena attacked Spanky Brian Kendrick, and then like it's Cole and Taz on commentary, and Taz is like, "Oh, it's the FU," and Michael Cole's like, "What?" And it's like, "Oh, the FU. It's like the F5, but it's an FU," and I'm like, "Makes sense to me."
And then you had
We
the
get
the
John.
STF, the STFU.
Yeah.
It was
Can
great.
we get John like rapping his theme live at Mania, please?
Here's the
For his
thing, and
entrance?
Our
I
Truth.
will.
Please?
Here's the thing, and I will decease on this hill. His album is not bad at all.
No,
It's not.
it's so good.
It's really good.
It's so good. It's been good this whole time.
Like me and my buddy Don't Follow David, he's on a couple episodes on the podcast. We were coming home from Saturday night's main event and we were just like cranking up the album. We were like listening to all the hits, Right Now, banger, Chain
Right
Gang
now,
is a clip, banger. Uh
gotta make it loud.
Gotta Make It Loud, that was another good one.
Yeah.
There
That
was
was,
that If It All Ended Tomorrow.
yeah.
Oh, and of
That
course,
was good.
and of
It's
course,
a good album. He knew what he
Bad
was doing.
Badman's also very good.
Bad Man,
With
yes.
Bumpy
Shout out Bumpy
Knuckles,
Knuckles.
Bumpy
Shout out my man
Knuckles is
Bumpy
that is
Knuckles.
such a great
Come
name.
on, man.
Yet not saying it was not a bad album. It was a good album.
Like
It's
for an
Well,
album, it was good.
yeah.
And
People just
here's a fun fact.
it was John.
Here's a fun fact. There was another wrestler that was actually recorded a song for the album, but it got cut because he was not in the company anymore. Does anyone have a guess on who it is? It's somebody you would not suspect.
Oh, then of course I'm not. I don't have any guesses of who it is, Richie.
Would you like me to give you a little bit of a hint?
Please.
Randy Savage.
Oh, I wish that would have been awesome.
That's a crazy feature.
That's wild.
I just remember because I only have one Randy Savage song, and it's the first one from the album, and he just goes, "I'm back," and I'm like, "Oh, we set the tone."
Oh no.
So,
Oh,
so,
hilarious.
so
It's a crazy.
I'm sorry, I made Ebbi laugh. That's on me. That's on me. My bad. But anyway, the answer is Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy did record a song with Cena
What?
that is still in
Wild.
Cena's queue. And also, there was another faction that was pitched, but it didn't get greenlit, and it was John Cena, R-Truth, legitimately, and MVP, and they all cut a
Wow.
song together as well.
Oh, that would have been dope, honestly.
Yeah,
That'd be
so
crazy.
I think that fact worked.
yeah, like MVP pitched it, like he got like the tracks in it, like R-Truth was on the track, Cena was on the track, and Vince was like, no. I'm like, all
Get
right.
it out the vault right now.
Speaking of Cena songs, have
It's
you guys
gonna be
heard
on the Vault channel.
have you guys
Yeah.
heard that song that Cena recorded that when he was gonna turn heel and go back to the Doctor of Thugonomics, he recorded a new theme song? Yeah, it's actually really good.
Yeah,
It's
and it's
fire,
like
bro.
I think they used it for like a DVD menu for one of his DVDs.
Oh, did they?
It's on,
Oh,
yeah. Like they did that, and another thing, like the attire that he was gonna wear, you could actually watch on an episode of Total Divas or Bellas, and it's like a singlet, and it just says "Fear My Name" on it. But the reason why it didn't go through is because Cena was just tied up in that Kmart deal, where it's like he was the face of the WWE partnership in Kmart, and they didn't have any other baby faces that they were confident enough. Like they were gonna go with Ebbi earmuffs. They were gonna go with Sheamus as like the top baby face, but they didn't have enough confidence in him because Kevin Dunn did not like Sheamus.
wait, Abby, are
Kmart.
you a Sheamus fan or are you not a Sheamus fan?
Oh my god, she is the biggest
My man.
Sheamus
Thank you
Oh,
to my
okay, you
man.
love Sheamus. All right, hell yeah, I like Sheamus too.
Good for me.
And you know what? I'm gonna take it a step further. Like Ebby, I know you don't like punk, but so the cover of like WWE 13 was CM Punk. Originally, WWE wanted Sheamus to be on the cover, but
Now I really
but 2K just said no. 2K's like no, we want Punk, and
it's
WWE's like
done.
no, you want
CM Punk
Sheamus.
is no longer redeemable to me at all.
So yes, we
He never
missed.
But
left.
like
Terrible guy.
Yeah, we missed
Wait,
Sheamus
to
as the
put it into
2K cover.
perspective, my first ever match that I ever watched, it was June 30th, 09. It was Sheamus's debut match.
Oh, really? Okay.
And that is what got me into wrestling. Yeah.
All right.
I
Cool.
love that man.
All right, so
That's real.
let's go to Michaila right over here. So Michaila, what segment or match are you dreading that you think is going to be a part of this John Cena retirement tour?
I'm gonna be so real with you.
I'd rather you be real than fake, so rip off the
I'm
band-aid.
gonna be so real with you. I'm looking forward to every single aspect of this retirement tour except for the end. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because little 8-year-old Michaela's heart is officially like, this is the end of my childhood. And so I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm not ready for him to go. I'm never going to be ready for him to go. Like, he could be 60, 70, 80 years old, and I would still say, one more match, because that's my go, you know? But I understand why he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to pull a Ric Flair. I don't want him to pull a Ric Flair in all reality, you know what I mean?
Well, you don't
But
want
I
to
just
you don't want a you can't see me energy
no.
drink deal.
Oh my god,
For the
no.
wings.
Oh, the wing,
John
not
Cena's
the
finally
woo
gonna
Wings.
freaking
wings.
I
I
can't.
forgot about the woo wings.
I laughed at that video for an hour.
Oh,
That was the funniest video I've seen that year.
I know what you guys
Wings.
are talking about. I'm gonna have to look this up.
so yeah, Ric Flair had, like, Ric Flair's in that point of his career where he's gonna slap his name onto any single product that
Of
offers him
course.
money. So it's like he has CBD, he has Woo Energy. I think he has an IPA coming out, but one of them was Woo Wings, where it was like they're just chicken wings.
I thought you said wigs. I thought you
Oh
said
no! Oh no!
wigs, bro.
No! That
A
Yeah,
that
wing.
might be next.
I was like, Ric Flair was selling wigs.
Mhm.
Mercedes Monet is gonna rock one if Woo
Oh,
wigs are next.
Ric Flair bundles. I
oh.
like that. Crazy. Wow.
You buy four of them, you get a robe.
You get a
Got
Oh
robe.
no.
hey.
Oh
Ugh.
my
But yeah,
god!
I don't want it to turn into that, and so I understand why he's retiring and why he's done. But I will never be ready, and I will never be over it, and I don't want him to go. I don't want him to go. It's the most bittersweet thing to have him have one final run and for it to be his final one.
Essentially, how you're describing it, it's like an Avengers Infinity War, where it's like seen as like the Tom Holland, and you're the Iron Man.
No, I knew you were
Oh,
gonna say that.
Oh no.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I'm actually,
that's
if the
fair.
app that if the app that we're all on is still existing, I will make that edit at the end, and I will send it to each and every one of you.
And I will
Please.
cry. I will send you a video of me crying with no sound.
I didn't say
Please. Because
No, make sure it's like the one tier though, like the one tier.
it's the one going
okay.
down.
It's the one going
Hey.
down. It's the movie theater tier, where it's like any movie. No one like ugly cries in movies. Have you noticed that? It's like
Yeah.
there's no like snot. There's no like anything that's like real crying. It's just like
Really?
like the one tier.
It's only Tobey Maguire.
Yeah,
Only Tobey
the,
Maguire.
the Spider Man.
That
Yeah,
crowd when
he cried. That's right.
Dude,
that crowd is crazy.
someone did an edit.
Only in that movie.
Someone did an edit of that, and it's like a Christmas Story. Like the bully Farkas, and he's like, "What are you gonna do? Cry? Go ahead, cry, cry." And then it cuts to Toby Maguire just crying. It's the funniest thing.
Crying the heart out of that movie.
But enough of Toby Maguire. He's gonna come back in the Avengers someday. But
Oh my god.
laugh. What segment of John Cena's retirement are you dreading, but WWE is gonna do?
It's between two. As fun as I think it would be for the nostalgia, I also do not like the stylings of Phil Brooks. My origins come from 2009 because
Ah.
he destroyed my
He did the
Jeff
thing.
Hardy.
He did the Jeff
Jeff
Hardy
Hardy.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Jeff
I ain't
Hardy.
going to divulge to it. You know what I'm saying? But that. Um, so I don't. I just for the aspect of like Punk possibly beating Cena, I don't want that to happen, and that's what I feel like that would lead to. Even though the promo battle will be entertaining, and I would be, I'll have a great time, But once that bell rings, I'm scared,
Hmm.
and I think they'll put Punk over. Um, but the main thing, I don't want him to do the rah rah speech because I've seen that happen with a lot of the wrestlers these days. They're like in the Cena age area where they'll come out there and they say, "I love working in this company and everyone here back there." And it's like Cena's been doing that ever since he started to come back. He did it when he came back in Money in the Bank. He talked about the locker room, and I don't want to hear that. I want to hear about how you're going to destroy someone at NXT and make sure they never win a belt. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear you call like I want to hear you call someone a name. I want you to rap at somebody. That's what I want you to do. I don't want you to go out there and be what Rock was on the Netflix. I don't want you to come out there like Dwayne Johnson. I want you to come out there like it's 2010 again, and you want to win some championships, and you don't care who's in the way. You know, I want him to stay in that mode.
Mm.
I don't want to see the actor, the philanthropist, whatever he is now. I don't want to. I don't want to see that
So you
version of
don't
him.
want a peacemaker, you want a peace destroyer. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly
Okay.
what I'm talking about. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because it's just like that we don't have time for that. I don't have time to hear about how much you love it. We know you love it. You
Yeah,
know, this is
true.
about that. This is about winning some belts while you're here and beating Roman Reigns.
Yeah. That's all it is. We'll see if
You know,
that does happen. But that actually brings me into the next topic, which is a very interesting one. And of course, it's something that people have talked about for many, 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 many years, and that is the John Cena heel turn. Not the dance that he did the night after WrestleMania 29, but the heel turn in that, you know, going to the dark side. And John Cena did say that he did have interest in going to that dark side. There just needed to be a superhero like him that can feasibly take that spot. Now, whether people like it or not, we actually do have that guy right now. I'm not going to say his name, but he might rhyme with Schmody Schmodes. But, it's like there is a bigger possibility now of people that WWE filled up that Superman archetype with one American Nightmare. Now, I'm going to start with Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. I'm going to start with you, Laugh. Do you think we see a potential John Cena heel turn? And do you think just give me like a percentage? What do you think the heel turn of John Cena is? It likely, not likely, and what is your final percentage tally?
I'm gonna give it a nice 30%.
Mm.
I'm not confident that it will happen, but there's always a chance.
Hmm.
There's always a chance, and I don't think they're willing to do so right now because actually, you know what? I'm changing that if I may.
Mm.
Guys, thought about something. I'm gonna change it to about 60%,
Ah.
and I'm changing it because I do feel like the thing that was blocking Cena from turning heel was the fact that he was the Cody Rhodes. You know what I'm saying? He was the guy at that point. Now we have a new guy
Mm-hmm.
for the time being.
Right.
So Cena doesn't have to do all of the stuff like the media training and the commercial and stuff like that, at least not for the company.
Right.
You know? So essentially he can do whatever he wants. And as far as him in movies, he's been cursing and saying a whole bunch of stuff. He's already shown that he's no longer that cookie cutter Cena that he used to be. You know what I'm saying? So a heel turn, I think there's a higher chance of it happening now, but like only if it's perfectly done.
Mm.
And thing is, you're running a risk of him turning to like what Roman was on the halfway like end of his heel run, was just like him being a heel, but the crowd cheers him still.
Mm.
And if you want, he has to do something to get him booed. And the only thing I've seen that like works, if you want to turn heel in the WWE, you have to beat Rey Mysterio. And then that goes into what you were saying, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, hey, that's what I say. If you want to turn heel, you got to beat a Rey Mysterio. So you get two stories out the way right there.
Eddie,
You know what I'm saying?
Batista, Dom.
It works every time.
It works
Beat
every time.
Ray.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio is this generation's Sting for a lot,
Yeah.
where it's like Ray keeps believing these people and he keeps getting turned on.
The New Day are doing it right now. Like it's a try to. I don't know why I raised the guy, but if you want to do a heel turn,
I
'Cause
think
he's
it
universally loved. That's why.
I think it's because
that's
he was a
real.
part of No Limit Soldiers in WCW. He was friends with Master P, and they were
Who the
like,
hell?
we were like, we we wanted autographs not only from Master P but his son Lil Romeo, and Ray didn't like
Could be
follow
animals
through.
on the
That's my
rise,
head
man.
canon. But
That's real.
Michaela, what do you
Yes.
think the percentage, if any, of a John Cena heel turn, and do you think it's a possibility?
I say it's a good 50-50.
Mm.
I want to see it. I want to see it more than anything because that was the John Cena that I fell in love with, was Thugonomics John Cena. I remember that guy's name, and then the next day I forget that guy's name, but the guy he used to come down to the ring with when he was rapping.
Oh, B
That
squared.
video. Yeah, that
Oh,
video
B
I sent you guys
squared.
in the group chat. He was doing this battle rap against Rikishi, and he was like, "Your knees look like cottage cheese." I'm just like,
Yo, like, see,
this is the guy.
yo, like that was great. Like, because that was on like Cena's first DVD. He had like an orange DVD like that said "Word Life" and it had that on there. And I just remember because I was like, because I got into wrestling like late 2003, so this was like the transition between heel Cena to babyface Cena. So I was watching it, and it was just Cena in like the bucket hat. I was like, oh, that's a different look. And then you just hear him say, "Rikishi, you was lucky you beat me," or something like that. I was like, oh, he about to he about to throw down right
It,
now.
Oh yeah.
it was so. I was watching it back, and I was just like, "Oh man, this is so corny. I love him so much, but this is so corny." Like, so I wouldn't like. I want to see some corny raps. I want to see the bucket hat. I want to see, because again, he said that this is the last time he's even gonna put the jorts on.
Mhm.
So if this is the last time you're gonna put the jorts on, then do it all the way. If you're really not gonna come out like this John Cena ever again, just give it to me one time. I just want it once. It doesn't have to be even for like a full, a full freaking rivalry. I just want one entrance as Thugonomics John Cena.
Mm.
But I don't know if he's going to, because I feel like this is already planned. I feel like his retirement tour is already planned. They've already planned it out. They know exactly what they're gonna do. I feel like they've been working on this for like the last year and a half, since the last time that he was here. So I think that it's it's very 50-50, because they don't want to lose that John Cena aura. They don't want to lose that Super Cena aura. They don't want to lose the baby face of it all. Like, he's the face of the company. And when you think WWE, of course you think Rock and you think Stone Cold, but the very next person you think of is John Cena. So are they going to risk that? I don't know. It's very 50-50. I hope they do, but it's not always guaranteed.
Well, big thing with John Cena is merchandise sales, So it's like I wouldn't be surprised if we went through about 50 different variants of that. The last time is now shirt with the door on the back, and it's like the name of every city there too. It's gonna hit people in the feels. Not me though. I don't have feelings except for when Rey Mysterio gets beaten up by John Cena. But Ring Rant, I'm gonna move it to you now. Do you think that John Cena will turn heel? And if so, what is the percentage you think it's going to happen?
So I feel like there's like a couple of things you got to consider, because he's got to the end of the year. So if he's going to turn heel, he's got to do it like now, basically, or at very least, in my opinion, he would have to at least do it by the Rumble. Because when he goes out, there's no way he's going to go out as the bad guy. I just don't see that happening.
Right.
He's going to go out as, as Super Cena. Yeah. But I'm with Michaila. I want to see it more than anything. I want to see the brass knuckles with the word life. I want the chain and the spinner belt and the bucket hat and gold, all that shit. I want to see all of it. Because that's the Cena that I grew up in, the Cena that I loved also when I was a kid. I'm going to say that I truthfully feel like there's maybe about a 40-45% chance of it happening.
Mhm.
But I think that if people talk about it enough, Cena is a man of his fans and the people, and gives people what they want to see. I think if people talk about it enough online, some maybe even if it's not in the plans now, I think people could make it a plan.
Like I feel like peak Cena for me is just like the spinner U.S. Championship belt, the Ruck Fools shirt, like the visor hat. And I was just like, oh, this is the guy right here. This is the dude. And then like he started like moving away from the jerseys and then his own merch. I'm just like, I'm like, no, come back. No,
Yeah.
we
It's over at that point.
were just vibing. Come on, come back. But
And then he saw jerseys that were his merch too.
yeah, and it's just like I think he named like his fans the Chain Gang. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that's cool.
That's real.
And then it's just like it just kind of like get like that he called
I want
Kurt
to
he
come.
called Kurt he called Kurt Angle a ham sandwich once. And I'm just
He's
like
a ham sandwich.
I was like
That's
I was like
something I thought about when you were talking about interactions and whatnot. I don't know what the probability of it happening, but even if it's a backstage promo or something, him and Kurt Angle, I would love to
ooh
see
yeah.
face to face one more time.
That would be funny.
Yeah, like
Be a-
even if it's like right before his last match and it's like he's about to go to the ring and then you just see Kurt Angle like how Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were there for each other at WrestleMania 40.
Oh man.
Yeah,
And
Oh
like
god.
and like just them giving like the like Cena like doing like the hat thing, like the nod.
that
And
would be awesome.
Kurt Angle gives him like a glass of milk or whatever Kurt Angle likes to
My heart would break,
He's just
man.
posted up there with the fucking milk truck. He's just ready.
do.
Hey, John.
Say ah. Just full blast, just milk in the Cena.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
I'm
Oh no,
screaming.
Kurt
That's
Angle is
great.
like on another planet. But now, Ebby, it's your turn. What is a percentage of John Cena turning heel for you?
Um, I think it's something that the company would like to do, but I think that there is a whopping 0% chance that
Ooh,
this
a
happens.
whopping 0.
And I think that because seemingly it's seemingly like Triple H he is learning from the mistakes of the one who came before him. And over the past 10 years, there have been several examples of people making heel turns, but they're just too over and the crowd won't boo. And I don't think we're gonna be able to get the crowd to boo him. I don't think it's gonna happen. He's given too much, he's done too much, he's loved too much. Like, you cannot convince me that 95% of those people who have chanted Cena sucks in an arena don't love John Cena truly, deeply, honestly. And I just don't think it's possible to boo him. But what I do think is a possibility, if with having someone like John that is so over, where you're not going to be able to probably get the crowd to boo him, I see a very unique opportunity to maybe possibly turn Cody heel and we really get the American Nightmare.
I love that.
Because I think that is probably the only thing that WWE has going right now that's going to be able to truly make a Cody Rhodes heel turn believable. It's about the only person you can put up against him right now that's going to get the crowd to turn on Cody Rhodes. And I truly think, like, when we think of John Cena and Rey Mysterio, they're very much so one of a kind baby faces. Really, there's really not many other people who have ever been in the pro wrestling business who have the ability to just be truly over like that with the crowd, like they do, and that presents a very unique opportunity for someone to stand opposite someone who is as over as Cody Rhodes right now. So I think it's more likely that we get Cena v Rhodes, and I know Laugh was saying it earlier, like, we don't want to see babyface versus babyface, but I think a lot of people want to see John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, and I think that's how we make that happen.
I think that would be a very interesting dynamic with John Cena and a heel Cody. I can't see it happening because WWE's just making hand over fist when it comes to Cody Rhodes merch, and it's just like I don't think that's something they're willing to risk. But like you said, the previous guy isn't here, so they are comfortable with taking those kind of risks when it comes to their performers. It's just a matter of would it hurt Cody long term if he turned heel for this program. But at the same time, you look at programs like Shawn Michaels and the Terry guy in '05, and that was a short term heel turn for Shawn. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and the crowd kind of accepted him right away, but the problem is people didn't really like. I keep forgetting his name. The Boulea guy. So it's that tightrope to kind of like walk, but it's like it's more open. Like you could go in either direction, in my opinion, and you'll still be okay. I'm just not sure about Cody because WWE has that long term investment in them.
I think if anything, I feel like history serves as our best teacher. And if anything, like, especially with it being recent history, Roman Reigns has showed us that you can be the biggest heel in the company, and all you gotta do is fall from grace, fall from the top of the mountain, take a couple months hiatus, and come back and you're a face just like that. Not to mention he's still doing extremely well with merch sales. I don't think a Cody Rhodes heel turn is going to be a problem in the merch selling department. Especially, like, I think we can get a lot better designs for merch with a heel American Nightmare gimmick than a face American Nightmare gimmick.
I will say, and this is a sidebar, the gym that I go to, like they know me as the Cody Rhodes guy because I wear a Cody Rhodes sweatshirt occasionally, and they're like, "Oh, Cody Rhodes." I'm like, and for me, I'm like, you know who this is? Like I get very confused, very because the only shirts that I see in public that are wrestling related are Punk shirts, and that's it. It's like usually CM Punk because you could like have your opinions on CM Punk, but the dude has had like 10 out of 10 merch when it comes to it.
Yeah.
Like
I was about to say
people can wear it. Hmm?
my upstairs neighbor has like 12 different punk shirts. And
That-
it's like every time I see him, he's wearing a different one, and we make awkward eye contact.
yeah, I usually see Punk merch, and I still see a lot of NWO
Yeah,
merch.
NWO is a big one. Austin is another one.
Yeah,
A new one is like Bray because it could like pass off
right.
as like a band kind of thing. I've seen people go to people with Bray shirts. Go, it's like, oh, what band is that? They look cool. It's like Slipknot or something, and then you're like, nah, this is just the Rabbit.
It's
I
just
will say
regular.
I need the Kevin was right shirt
Me
so bad.
too.
Yeah,
Me
my
too.
favorite
So bad.
my favorite
Me.
thing, and Evie, you know this, is like if someone buys like a Kevin was right is right shirt, someone will just go up to you, who's Kevin? Which Kevin? And then it just starts a whole conversation.
All of them.
And I was saying to you, like, it works for me because I know so many Kevins. Like, that shirt would be so versatile for me.
Let me go over there. What were you saying, Ring Rant?
Oh no, no, nothing.
Okay, so we all get the heel turn. For me, I think it's like a 2% chance, like the milk that we see the John Cena heel turn, because like the thing is, it's like they want to sell all these John Cena shirts. They want to sell like John Cena is like a merch selling machine, and from a company standpoint, you're gonna sell like those shirts, those rally towels, like you're gonna sell like the hats, the sweatbands. You're gonna sell all of that stuff. And the thing is, with John Cena, he said himself, if he's going to be a heel, he's going to be like no merch sales. I don't want to sell merch. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that, and that's the only way. I feel like you need to go like full like Jericho 2008 with it, where it's just like no Jericho merch, like no nothing, no trees, no learning, just suits, and then this is who I am. Like that's what you need. Like it needs to be a 180, and I feel like John Cena is at the point where it's like he's evergreen it, and like people are just gonna accept on who he is.
That's a really interesting point, Richie, too. Because, like, when you think about it, if there's a heel turn, even if there is merch being sold, certain types of merch isn't going to sell for a heel turn. Like, they're not gonna, nobody's gonna buy a sweatband, like, from a John Cena heel turn. Nobody's gonna buy a rally towel from a John Cena heel turn. So I think that's a really interesting point.
But they will buy brass knuckles and
They
chains,
would,
bucket hats,
yeah.
and all
Eh,
that other
But
stuff.
why risk the heel turn and say, okay, they'll buy this and not that, when he can
Because they
stay
could sell
face
them
and they will
both.
just buy it all?
Because they could sell them both at the same time. It really wouldn't matter. It's John Cena's last year. I don't think him, like even him saying that if he was to go and do heel turn, that he would go no merch and all that stuff. I don't think any of that applies anymore because it's his last year. And then also going back to your point, Ebby, of you saying that I don't think turning Cena heel. I don't think the goal of that would be to get the fans to boo him. I think it would be strictly just to be a nostalgia act.
it's almost like a low key sort of thing, right? It's like a villain you want to see win in the end. It's like the
Yeah.
like kind of anti-hero ish, but also you're kind of marketing it like NWO, where it's just like they're marketing machines. And then I'm gonna go off topic, but like I know I've poked fun at him throughout this whole podcast, but like the Hogan contract in WCW was crazy. With the NWO merch because he
And
got paid. I think it's something ridiculous, like something like $10,000 or $20,000 per show for just wearing the NWO shirt. I'm just like,
And I
I want that contract where I just put on a shirt and they're like, here's your money.
and I will say, Ring Rant, like, I get what you're saying, but like, it becomes a lot harder for the in-ring performers to do their job when the live crowd is not cooperative. Like, it's really hard to really like sell this story of heel Cena when the crowd is cheering him. Like, just like if you take it back some years ago, it was really hard to try to sell like heel Becky Lynch to us after she turned on Charlotte and the crowd was all for it. It was really, really hard to try to sell that to us. So they just stopped trying
Even with
because
I
the
we
big
were.
point.
time Becky too, yeah.
But think of it like, say, like if they went at it in an angle, say that you have the Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena, kind of acting like a heel, but his match is against Chad Gable or somebody like that. People are going to get behind it because it's someone like Chad Gable, who also would be an incredible match, John Cena and Chad Gable for
And it's
sure.
like, if you're beating up Chad Gable right now, are you really the bad guy?
Well,
It's
no,
like
that's the
how
point though.
like
That's what I'm
everybody was
saying.
like,
It's
is
not
she
really
gonna
to
be
perceive him as
face?
a bad guy. It's a nostalgia act. It's to do it one more time so he can show this character and play this character one more time, even if it's just for a match or a promo or for a month or whatever.
I think with more than anything, like, and like I do think it's possible for it to work. I just don't see them realistically going that route because more than anything, like at the end of the day, it's a business and they're going for what's easy money.
Yeah, like I
And
said, I agree with most of
what's
what you're saying.
not gonna touch their
Still think there's a
pockets.
40% chance of it happening. So.
As long as his merch doesn't look like the AJ Styles TNA shirt, where it looks like very suggestive, I think we'll be fine. Or the Sin Cara shirt. Don't look those up.
Oh,
Those
the
Those
sync.
shirts, not very
Yeah,
good
yeah.
shirts.
So the Sin Cara shirt is legendary. I will go into that story probably on a different podcast. But man,
I think I did.
whoever ordered that shirt, man, God bless. God God
Love that
bless.
guy, Sakara, man.
God bless.
God bless. So we're going over a myriad of topics, of course, and one of the things about John Cena is his legacy of being what they're touting as the greatest of all time. Of course, that's subjective, but that's how WWE's marketing him. So I'm just gonna go forward and call him that. What do you guys think when you're watching a John Cena match? Like, what is the quintessential, like, this is my John Cena match? This is my favorite. This is where, like, if I want to watch a John Cena match, like, in his prime or how I want to remember him, this is how I want to, like see him as during this run. Michaela, you had a big smile on your face. I think you already have your answer. So
I
please
do. I
name
do.
the John Cena match of choice that you would like to go with.
It's gonna be John Cena and Shawn Michaels because
The one on Raw?
though is was it the one on Raw? No, no, the WrestleMania
The are you the WrestleMania one or the one that's an hour?
the WrestleMania one.
Okay,
The WrestleMania one.
the one with the
Because
streaker.
the,
If you guys,
yes.
it got cut off from the like the Peacock feed or the DVD feed, like, but I remember watching it live, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Michaela. I just popped in
It's
my head
okay.
where
No,
it's
I
just
remember we talked about this before.
like the guy, like the bell's about to ring, and it's just like Shawn Michael, who's just obscenely tan for this match. Like this is the most tan that I've seen Shawn Michaels in my life. And there's a guy who's like immediately just streaking, like in the or attempting to streak, and then the camera pans, and then it's just like a shot on like Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels is on the turnbuckle, and he's just waving to the guy. Yeah, I'm just like, oh, that's
Check it out,
sick.
man.
And then that was also the match that's famous for Shawn Michaels refusing to shake John Cena's hand because apparently John Cena didn't sell the leg enough.
Yeah, and he that's how he definitely felt. I thought it was fine because it again, it's two of my favorites of all time going at it,
Mm.
and they can't put on a bad match in my opinion. Well, okay. Stop. I'm going to pause for a second because that's a lie. As much as I love Shawn Michaels, that last one that him and Triple H did at
Oh no.
Shouldn't have happened.
What
was
are you
it
talking
yeah,
about? It ended at WrestleMania
it didn't
26.
happen.
What are you
Yeah,
saying?
it didn't
Yeah,
happen.
What
It
yeah,
what are
didn't
you
Shawn Michaels
happen.
saying?
retired in 2010.
Yeah, it ended at
That
2010.
was
There was not
AI.
a
I don't
match
know.
where he didn't have hair or was bald.
Or was bald.
No,
In Saudi
no.
Arabia.
We're gonna forget it happened. Besides that, I don't think that those two can put on a bad match, especially because they both have a style of wrestling that's like they have their move set. And I know people criticize having, a set move set. And I understand where they're coming from because, it could, I'm sure it gets a little stale sometimes. It gets kind of boring. But when you're watching your favorite do it, to me, it really never feels stale. And it just feels like I'm watching my favorite wrestler do his favorite thing. And so the John Cena Shawn Michaels match at WrestleMania to me very much feels like that, just watching two of my favorites do their thing. And so I just want to watch him do his thing all year.
All right, Laugh. Let's go to you. What do you think is like your quintessential John Cena match? Like this is a match you pop in. This is what John Cena is to me.
I don't know if I have. Is it okay if I say three? Could
Yeah,
I
why
have like
not?
I have a big three. One, it's a person we don't speak about anymore for multiple different reasons. Extreme Rules, John Cena, versus Brock Lesnar.
Ah,
Um, that match for what it was at the time, that was a kick-ass match because Cena was getting his ass beat, and that was like to me that's the story of John Cena getting your ass beat for the entire match, and then getting ultimate finisher momentum, and then somehow like surviving and like not looking like he's like demolished. And I that match I haven't watched it in a while, but
dude, dude, there's a spot there where Brock just goes charging on like the steel steps, and
yeah,
he like I don't know what he was going for, but Cena's like on like the apron outside.
on the apron.
Brock just comes running
God,
and just like torpedoes his entire body to Cena and takes probably the worst spill that I've ever seen in my life. And then he just gets back up like nothing. He probably tore
that's a John Cena match.
that he like Brock like tore his ACL and then reattached it just by sheer will.
That was like, and I was 12 years old watching that. Like, oh, Cena's about to get destroyed here, and it was just like it was even, but Brock at that point was just a freaking torpedo, bro. Oh my god! But moving on from that for multiple different reasons. I do think I don't know what match it was. I don't know if it was on Raw. I think it might have been a table. It was a table spot. Cena went for the attitude adjustment, and then Randy turned it into an RKO, and then Randy popped up, and I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
realize he reversed it until Randy got
yeah,
up,
that
and I
was
was
on
like,
Raw. Yeah,
"Oh
that was the go home to that 6-pack challenge, I think.
man!" I remember like standing up, like, "What did I just see?" I didn't realize he did it until Randy popped up, and I'm like, "Oh, you reversed it!" That was one of the coolest spots I've ever seen. So that match, and then um, there's one more. I it just left my head. Damn. Um, I think it was the might have been the second or third match between AJ Styles, whichever one was at Money in the Bank. I don't know which one because they had obviously had a few.
That was the first. Are you talking about the one with the Gallows and Anderson interference?
I think I
Okay,
they all like
they run together.
combine in my
Yeah.
head for some reason. Yeah, damn, I can't remember what I think it was the Money in the Bank match that I'm thinking about. I probably have to go back and watch them, but I really want to say all AJ Styles matches and be honest with you because that feud was like there's no reason why that worked the way it was supposed to. And like obviously AJ was still at a very good point,
Hmm.
and Cena could still go. But like I was a huge TNA guy. There was a point where I watched more TNA than I watched WWE.
Mm.
So seeing the John Cena of TNA, which is AJ Styles, go against the John Cena of John Cena, it was like
So,
even the promo interaction was just like, what am I
I
looking at?
love that feud so much, and I think that was
Oh
probably like John Cena's last great feud, like from an in ring
man,
perspective.
yeah,
And I think
yeah.
the funnest moment for me is like when AJ turned on Cena, beat up John Cena, became like
Hmm.
his identity and character. He did it while John Cena was wearing Ellen DeGeneres branded cargo shorts.
What?
So
Really?
it in my head can't, because John Cena like the week before was on the Ellen DeGeneres show. I think he was promoting, it was either Trainwreck or a different movie, but he was like on the Ellen
Mm.
DeGeneres show, and he said he would wear those cargo shorts the next time he's at Raw, and then AJ Styles just starts beating him up, and in my head I'm like, oh, it's because he's wearing Ellen DeGeneres
Oh,
cargo
it's Ellen's fault.
shorts.
Gosh, I did not know about that. I didn't know he had Ellen shorts. That's crazy.
I didn't know.
Like go back to that beat up angle. They're like plastered on like the sides of the pockets.
Wow. Okay, I gotta go look at that now. It's crazy.
That's funny.
But those moments were like, yeah, this is the man right here. Obviously, there's multiple different ones that I didn't even like think about, but those are the three that like first came to my head because like that is pure John Cena like imagery for me. If you want to build like a superstar that you are going to build your company around, you build them just like that. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Ebby. What is your quintessential John Cena match? And bonus points if it's not the match where Sheamus wins the WWE Championship.
So there are no bonus points because it is TLC 09.
Oh
Um,
man.
very similarly to how Michaila said, just seeing your two favorites go at it and put on a banger after banger after banger after
They're
banger.
banger.
um, it was everything for me. For me, it's the epitome of John Cena. Um, putting over new talent. Um, and of course, like for me, it's everything because it was Sheamus's first title in the WWE. So of course that was everything. But that was truly like I said, Sheamus's debut match was what got me hooked. But that TLC match 09 is what made me fall in love with wrestling. It's what made me fall in love with John Cena, not just as the wrestler, not just as the company guy, but as a person. Um, and again, like how Michaila referenced John's match with Shawn Michaels, it's like when you see two people who never put on a bad match, it's one of those things that like I can watch over and over and over and over again. And I'm hoping that maybe we get at least one run again, even if it's just a one-off match with John and Sheamus. it would be everything. But that was the moment. That was the match. That was the PLE. Well, now they're PLEs, before they were just pay-per-views. But that's what made me fall in love with wrestling. And I when I if I would be lying to you if I told you that I didn't watch that match at least twice a year back.
Hmm.
It's everything to me. It really is.
A couple of facts about that match that a lot of people don't know about. One was it was made in storyline by Jesse Ventura, where he was the guest host of Raw, and now he's doing Saturday Night Main Event stuff, so that's pretty cool. Another thing I kind of want to debunk because a lot of people, I don't know where this rumor started. The rumor was that both John Cena and Sheamus were supposed to go through the tables at the same time. And the fact is, one, like theoretically, that's going to be kind of hard to do, especially with how they were doing it. And you could also see that the table was like on its side when it was thrown out of the ring, so it wasn't supposed to be like that. Sheamus just landed next to the table and he pushed it out of the way so he doesn't hurt himself.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, Sheamus revealed that it was going to be between him or Jack Swagger to get the spot with Cena for that tables match. And all I gotta say is they made the right choice.
He did.
They made the right choice. And the thing is, it's like if people are saying, "Oh, Sheamus accidentally won the title," I'm just like, so they accidentally just kept it on him for about 5 more months after that.
Yeah. That would have been so easy to rectify even if
Yeah,
it was an
just do it the
accident.
next one.
Like
Yeah.
Vince tore his quads for a person going over the top rope.
Man.
So you were saying, Ring Rant?
No, yeah, no, I was just agreeing with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
This is just all that stuff. But now I'm gonna go to you, Ring Rant. What is your quintessential John Cena match?
all right. So I am also going to be greedy, and I'm going to name three really quick because there's just the three that popped up in my head, and I just looked up to make sure I had the right year. But like Ebby said, when you like watching your two favorites go at it, there's like nothing like it. But when you're also a little kid watching your favorite fight someone that you just hate with every fiber of your being, um, the the first one that came to my mind is John Cena and JBL in the I Quit match in 2005, Judgment Day. I think it's still considered like one of the bloodiest matches I think in WWE.
Oh
But
my gosh, so gory.
this match is insane, and I absolutely hated JBL as a kid so much. And then also another TLC match, Edge and John Cena TLC, which I believe was just the next year in 2006.
Yeah.
And so those two are like the John Cena that I picture, and then the one that I love the most. And then I had just have to throw in because I think it's the most creative match in WrestleMania history, the Firefly Funhouse match with him and Bray Wyatt.
So good. Like a lot of people like to rag on that match. It's like, oh, it's not an actual match, but I'm just like, I love the creativity of it, and
Yeah,
the the
me too.
fact that John Cena, he said he like wrote the match himself. I'm sure like Bray had his input and just kind of like had it as, but like John Cena wrote the skeleton of it. Like just shows how passionate he was to get the Bray Wyatt not only like character over, but the idea over in
Yeah,
comparison to how it was like in WrestleMania 30.
yep, 100%. He was the man for sure for that.
Yeah. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna say two of my favorite John Cena matches, and one of them I put in a TikTok or YouTube short video. So if you saw it, you probably know. It's one of them is John Cena versus CM Punk at Night of Champions. This is the Boston match, the one where Punk first gets with Heyman, the one where he wears the Yankee pinstripes and it ends in a draw. For whatever reason, I'm just like, this is their best match. I don't care about the pile driver match. I don't care about the one in Chicago. I like the one where Punk wears the pinstripes. And people are like, oh, it ends in a draw, that ruins it. I'm like, no, it just makes it like I saw it as like these guys are so good that neither of them can like win on this night, which is I really liked. And it showed like John Cena like trying to do a Muda lock, which was crazy. Like Cena hit like a tope through the ropes too, and I'm like, that doesn't happen, And then he just goes like, "Hey!" and he's like so excited he hit it. And
I
the
don't think
best
he's
is,
tried since then.
nah, yeah, because like apparently like the Moodalock that happened, like Cena was trying to roll out of it, twisted his ankle and tore Punk's knee up. So I'm like, yeah, that's probably why he
Yeah,
didn't do it.
it's a
But
good reason.
another one, and this is like a random one. No one ever mentions this like in terms of like Hell in a Cells, but it's like it's their Hell in a Cell match in 2014, not the one in 2010 where Randy tried to punt Cena and it missed by about 5 feet. This is the one where it's like the winner got Brock Lesnar, and this Hell in a Cell match like was created very oddly. Like it was gonna be Cena versus Ambrose in a contract on a pole match, and the winner gets Rollins at Hell in a Cell. And Randy just goes backstage and he's like, "All right, whoever doesn't win or whoever wins the contract, just give me the other guy at Hell in a Cell." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And then they're like, "Up, winner gets Brock." And I'm just like, ah, Brock and Cena again, okay. But it's like this Hell in a Cell match when it comes to like Randy and John Cena matches is probably the one of three that I like, like above averagely, because like John Cena and Randy, like during that time period, I think their feud's okay. It's just my goodness, like so many matches between the two when you take in singles, tags, triple threats, fatal four ways, and it ends with an AA through a table. So keeping the theme with tables that are going on. And let me just say, I'm proud of each and every one of us for not naming the usual suspects when it comes to Cena matches. That being the Money in the Bank Punk match and the Shawn Michaels Hour match. So good on us.
Yeah, I mean,
Richie, I was gonna say like, because y'all said multiple. For me, an honorable mention is John Cena and he who must not be named SummerSlam of 2014 because nobody takes a beating like John Cena, man.
That was a good one. Like the fact that
Nobody takes a beating like John Cena, and like as much as we're not rocking with you know who, like
mm,
Suplex City was one hell of a gimmick, man.
I mean it's
that was a
working
It
for
moment.
Sheldon right now in AEW. Yeah.
like
He
That was a moment,
like
man.
yeah, like that was fantastic for me. Like
something that really ticked off about me for that match. It had nothing to do with the in-ring performance. There's this one small child in the crowd that just keeps saying "Let's go Cena" in the most shrill voice, and I'm just like, I can't watch the match because of that. Because it's just like I'm trying to enjoy like the beatdown, and then it's like "Let's go Cena," and it's like just one child, and I'm just like, look, I believed like you believe, but there has to be a point. I know he says never give up, but you're gonna ruin your voice, and I'm trying to look out for you, small child.
He's already dead.
Richie,
It's the
you
Simpsons
believe,
meme.
but do you believe?
Do I believe? Wyatt not,
That
That was good. That was very good.
was very good.
Yeah, yeah,
Did y'all plan that? That was
yeah.
good.
Why not?
Y'all wrote
But
it.
we're about to close this thing. So first and foremost, thank you all for being here today. But before we go, I'm gonna say, or I'm gonna go around the round table, so to speak, and we're gonna go with three predictions that we think's gonna happen. Three predictions. So hopefully we don't all have the same three predictions. But we're gonna say our three predictions, and then hopefully, maybe at the end of the year, we'll all come back, and once Cena has retired, gone to his different plane of existence in Hollywood, then we could compare and see like who got the most right, and then again, winner gets a holly jolly congratulations and one of John Cena's many, 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 many T-shirts.
Many, 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 many.
That's real.
It's gonna be all the colors, all the colors. Oh, just a big thing because I'm gonna forget about this. One thing that if Rey Mysterio got screwed over the most, the second person that got screwed over is Finn Balor. If you remember that year, where it's
Oh
like,
man.
oh, don't get, oh, I'm gonna go on a rant again. So Just to
Ah,
refresh
getting
everyone's
him.
memory. One, big Finn Balor fan. Two,
Oh,
so it was said it's like, oh, SummerSlam, it's gonna be Roman Reigns and John Cena because like Finn Balor's the rightful number one contender, and then Finn Balor gets taken out by Baron Corbin again. So not gonna go there, but then Cena comes in and he sees a contract which is probably legally binding and says Finn Balor's name right on it, and then Cena in the giant most like crayon letters just writes Cena like he's Tommy Pickles from Rugrats, and that's legally binding. And I'm like, oh, cool, Cena. And then the the thing, it's like I don't mind that Cena got the match, cool, but what it led to was that Extreme Rules match where Finn Balor as the Demon, and apparently this is what they said and explained in storyline when the post broke. It was an act of God that caused Finn Balor to collapse on top of that and cause
and
so I'm done. If anyone wants to comment on that, please do.
Finn Balor's been
man.
getting screwed a lot. That's all I gotta say.
The fact that Pin Balor is like
Is even a thing.
is the
It shouldn't
thing makes me
even.
sad. Like they
Shouldn't
called
even be a thing.
Bray Wyatt the Eater of Pins, and now it's Pin Balor. I'm like, can we stop making the supernatural guys just be like losers?
Ah, for real. I say to just
I'm
scrap
so
the supernatural aspect of it. Just make them all like that they're crazy and out of their minds, and just
I
make them
would
cool.
be too
Like,
if Mister like John Cena took a giant crayon and just wrote Cena on a title match that I was gonna get. I'm just like, how is this fair? And Finn Balor's like,
yeah,
oh, okay. It's like, oh, no problem.
you
It'll
know.
come and
I'm so
go.
happy you said that.
All right,
Oh
so
my
we're gonna go around the room, and our top three predictions on what we think is gonna happen for John Cena's year. So I'm gonna start with Ring Rant. Now, Ring Rant, what are the three things you think is gonna happen for John Cena's year?
I think he's gonna hit the 17. I think he's not gonna win the Royal Rumble.
Mm.
And even though kind of contradicting what I said earlier, I'm gonna throw a prediction that he is gonna win at WrestleMania, but it's not gonna be for a title.
Mm. All right, good predictions, Ebby.
I think we get number 17. Um, I think we get a live performance of The Time Is Now.
Ooh.
God.
I hope that comes
That's
true.
great. That's great.
I'm hoping. Um, and I think that I agree with Ring Rant. I think we're gonna get a win at Mania, but it's not gonna be for the title. And one last thing that I don't think is gonna come true, but it's just a hope and it's a prayer from like the deepest part of my heart. Like his last match, his last time on the mic, I'm hoping to God he says psych psych motorbike and he's not retiring.
I thought for a second, I thought you were gonna
No
say
idea where
because,
you're.
I thought you were gonna say that you hope that John Cena runs into Nikki Bella and like just like introduces
Oh
her
God.
to his wife. I thought you were gonna say that because we've been talking.
Oh, I want that.
Oh
I
Like you
need
knew that
that.
me and her
okay.
already
I
had
need
that
it on camera.
conversation.
I need
No,
to
the
see
thing,
it.
like,
I need to see Nikki and Shay interact.
yeah, yeah,
Why?
like we talked about this because like Chelsea Green did like an Instagram like reel or like an Instagram like post where it's like the first photo was her and Nikki Bella taking a photo, and the second photo was her
No,
and John
no.
Cena's wife. Yeah.
That wasn't even the first photo. There were two photos before that. They were sandwiched together in the middle, and you can't tell me it wasn't
What
purposeful.
makes it makes it funnier for me though.
Right?
Oh man.
All right, laugh. Let's get your top three things you think are going to happen at John Cena's retirement tour run.
Royal Rumble win, world title win, and this is a half court shot here. Um, an interaction with AJ Lee.
Mm,
With AJ Lee,
Yeah,
that is. I want to hear your
because
thought
that
process behind that because I'm very interested.
they
only because obviously the Cena and Punk thing is most likely going to happen, and I do think AJ Lee is going to come back at the Royal Rumble this year. I don't think you can have AJ leave and never come back again, along with Cena leaving and never coming back again, and them not acknowledging the fact that they had a whole month, they had a huge storyline of just them being in a relationship, you know? And it was traumatic for me because I loved AJ Lee and I loved Cena. And I was like, why are you kissing my woman like that, John? Why are you doing that? I didn't
Why
appreciate that,
are
but
you kissing my
Understand that.
woman?
I
I
really
didn't like that.
understand that because I was just like, why are you kissing my man like that?
You know what's
No,
going on? Like, what
literally.
you doing? I'm right here.
That's
I'm right
funny
here.
as
Like,
hell.
I'm here every week.
In
You
front
just
of me?
they go in the hotel rooms and Vicky's like, I saw you. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they brought the people out. They're like, yeah, they were in there eating. What are you talking about? Oh my god. Oh,
Oh,
I hate Kane. I hate Kane. That's why I hate Kane too. Kane, I didn't forget.
oh.
That might have been even worse.
The fruit roll up masked cane is always odd for
Oh
me.
man.
Just like
Oh god.
it was like a welder's mask, and then it was the fruit roll up mask,
It was so bad.
and then embrace the hate. I
That was the heel turn right
I
there.
was embracing a lot of hate then.
When he beat up Jack Swagger that one week, he had like that little. I don't know what gimmick it was or what storyline it was when he like looked into the camera really angry.
Oh yeah,
He's
so
like an angry face.
so I remember that specifically. So like he looked at very angry, so it's like it was like very goofy.
Yeah.
But like what was funny was I was like scrolling through their channels like the week of that show happened, and it was like one of the Spanish channels. So I was watching. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, Raw's here. So it's like, let's see what happened. They actually cut that
Yeah.
scene of him being really angry from that broadcast. It just like cut
Damn.
with Cena just like looking disappointed, and I'm just like, oh, somebody must have like been like, we don't want this creative decision. We don't want to see Cena super angry. But the thing is,
Yeah.
the internet doesn't forget. And now we forever have that meme as John Cena constipated looking at the camera.
He was so mad. I
He
was
was
like, oh,
so angry.
that's it. That was the moment right there. They're supposed to do it. And they didn't do it. So it was like,
Constipated, Richie?
Have you seen the photo, Abby?
It was before all the acting
yeah.
lessons, for sure.
Yeah, like you, Abby, you can't sit here and say the man did not look constipated.
I just wasn't expecting you to say that he looked
it's
constipated.
it's like that. And even when his old Titantron, I used to love this. His old Titantron, for like a glimpse when it came on, like as soon as the music hit, there was a scene of him like by the wall, and he would like look at the
Oh,
camera. That was the funniest thing.
like it's like when the
That was
beat
so
dropped too
funny.
from that song. It's like done. It's like he would turn the you were like it was like the old school like Joe Hendry like deal, you know?
It was so dramatic and it was great. That used to make me laugh so much, and it did on the video games too.
Yeah,
In the
it
video
reminds
games,
me
they
of
like to show.
it reminds me of the CM Punktron, you know, where he's like randomly in a church.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
they.
that.
I love
I
it.
miss
I don't
those
know
old
where
Tron.
that's at.
I
Like they
love
told
Where is
those
that
so
at?
much.
they were cool.
I don't know where that building is. Where they used to do it in like the big crescent like area, and they used to like do
Yeah.
the 360. They never do
Yeah.
that anymore.
Like there's
Yeah.
like those two, and for whatever reason, the primetime players where it's like they're in like the light background during their Titantron,
Yeah,
and it's like millions of dollars.
they don't make Titantrons like they used to
No, now
anymore.
it's just a word graphic.
Some
Yeah.
stupid music playing,
Yeah, it's a
random
bummer.
drum
All
pattern.
right. Anyway, Michaela, your top three things that are gonna happen for John Cena's retirement tour. Remember, a John Cena T-shirt is on the line.
I think that he's gonna win his 17th title. I think he's gonna break the record. Highly anticipating that. I think that him and CM Punk are gonna have one heck of a match, and I don't know when, but it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be one heck of a match. And I think that he's gonna go for the United States Championship, but I don't think that he's gonna win it. I think he's gonna try. I think he's gonna go for it, but I don't think that he's gonna win it, even though
Mm.
it would be nice, and I would like to see him with all the belts. And I'm gonna add a fourth prediction. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
We're gonna cry.
We're gonna cry. I'm gonna cry every single time he comes on that TV, and I'm just letting you guys know that there'll be a lot of videos of me bawling because it's not okay.
Well, there's 1 point for Michaila if
See,
that's her
we've
prediction.
been crying
You
on
know that.
here.
So the thing about that is, um, I'm not sure if you know Ring Ref. If I'm not sure if you know, like Ebby and I will occasionally do lives on Tuesdays and Fridays, and like the familiar lives will do. I've been banned from joining if there's a very serious moment or potential heel turn that's going to happen because I keep laughing when they happen.
Oh my!
Like,
No, take
Why?
full accountability, Richie.
what do you mean?
Because you
Yes,
do more than just laugh.
I giggle too.
He predicts it ahead of
That's
time.
true. Yeah,
he
I
does.
do.
Then it happens,
Oh damn!
and we're all distraught. And while we're distraught,
And
he's
he just laughs.
Just laugh. I'd probably.
in the background.
That's great.
So
I'd
there was one where it was like it was the Tony Storm one first. That's the one that kicked it off. But there was one, you guys know Chrissy, and like she said something like like we were just joking around, and she said something my way, and I'm like just for that, the Rascals are gonna break up tonight on NXT, and they did.
Oh no!
And we were distraught.
Keep in mind, like I'm in this live bawling. I am crying, okay, and he's laughing.
Damn man,
He's doing
Exactly how he
tough.
is right now.
Exactly how he is right now.
I get very
He gets
giddy
so much
about it.
joy out of our pain. He gets so much
They
joy out
wouldn't
of
let
our
me
It was
join the
disappointment.
New Day reunion live.
no.
No.
Let
That
me
was
add
oh
the
man.
layers to this so they truly understand it. Like none of our feeds are synced up. And
Yep.
Richie always sees things first. So he goes through everybody's reaction and laughs
Oh
every
man.
single time.
He
That's
does.
great.
He does.
It's really because it's like with Ebby, she would be on like a super like 30-second delay. So I would just be
Man,
laughing, and then it's like all of a sudden you just see Ebby's like head back, or, like jerk back, like like jerk back like that. When it's just like it's like for everybody else, it kind of like fully like digested, and then you just see Ebby just like shotgun back, where it's
like I'm waiting. I'm seeing everybody shocked to shit, okay? And I'm just waiting. I'm like, what's happening? The reason that they're acting like this. And then Wesley turns on the Rascals. And I'm just like,
Damn.
and then the other one was the Tony Storm one, and Ebby looked like the Undertaker for a bit,
"Whoa."
where
That
she's
one was
just like looking
brutal.
up and just like stoic, just like processing everything.
That
Stuck.
was brutal, man.
So anyway, my three predictions. Uh Number 17 is gonna happen. I don't know what like he's gonna kick off Raw, and he's gonna have a promo with Jey Uso, and they're just gonna yeet together. Like that's like in my head. I'm just like that's probably gonna happen.
Hmm.
And last but not least, I think he will have a match with Dirty Dom on APLE. Like
I hope that one.
those are my three predictions because I feel like Dom's at a position where I think this is his year to really individualize himself since he's away from the Rhea Ripley thing. It looks like the Liv Morgan thing's not going to be that long term in comparison. Uh, I do want Dom to have a T-shirt where it's just a chicken tender with sunglasses and like the bandana. Like I want that, but
You can find that at
Yeah,
Old
that'd be
Navy right
really.
now, I'm sure.
that would look pretty cool. Like especially if they were like the McDonald's chicken McNugget like looking like cartoons.
Oh man.
Mi-
I would buy that. I like that.
I'd buy.
Michaela, you okay?
I like that.
I can picture it, and I'm only laughing because when I went to McDonald's the other day, we went through the drive-through, and after I ordered on that big screen thing that they have, John Cena just popped up
Oh
in
yeah,
that
he's the endorsement
window,
guy now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's doing
He
stuff with the.
really?
yeah, he's the endorsement guy
Yeah.
for the special like McPick 2 or something.
and I was like
He's those
sitting there
commercials.
looking at it. I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, my
What?
sister's like, drive. You gotta drive."
The best
So
part is that was
I
his
could see
legit
it.
order when he was on the road. His McDonald's order was like the cheeseburger and the four nuggets.
It's so weird. Like
Richie, I'm so happy that you like brought up like Jay and John yeeting, because the way I would throw my credit card at the Time is Yeet shirt. Oh my
Please.
god.
As long as like
Please.
BC doesn't get hit with a cease and desist, like we'll be good. Because if you guys don't know, BC is our dear friend who likes to design t-shirts. He has a lovely t-shirt shop and also runs Run the Ropes shop for everybody who's a creator to get shirts. And he created a Rhea Ripley Jey Uso this is my Brutalia Yeet shirt.
He is
And
so good.
he got hit with a cease and desist by
And
WWE.
so quick.
And then like he
Damn.
tried
Instant,
to make
yeah.
a like I believe in Joe Hendry like bumper sticker like the presidential things,
Uh,
and then he got hit with a cease and desist by TNA.
damn.
Now I'm not
Dang,
saying
playing around.
BC's the reason why WWE and TNA entered this partnership, but I'm just saying that there are there's the Venn
I'm taking
diagram effect
exactly.
going on.
First sign.
There's science
We are
behind
not
that,
playing.
but I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so very much for joining me for this whole John Cena roundtable discussion video. We're going to go around the room. I'm going to have you guys plug what you need to plug. And everyone at the end, please thank Michaila because she's the one who brought this all together. And she was the one who
Thank you.
facilitated everything. And this is all her idea. And she's going to be very successful with her podcast that her and Ebbi will plug at the end of the show. But first, let us go to Ring Rant. Ring Rant, thank you for being here. Now, the floor, as they say, is yours.
Well, thank you guys very much for including me. Michaila, thanks for inviting me. Like I said, this was like my first podcast with other wrestling content creators, so that's really cool. You could always just find me at Ring Rant Podcast, although it's not a podcast on TikTok. I don't know what's happening with TikTok. Nobody does, but you can always find me Ring Rant everywhere else. And good luck to your guys' podcast also. And yeah, thank you guys. It was a lot of fun. We should do
Thank
this
you.
again. Also, I have one idea really quick. You said that we should come back at this at the end of the year.
Mhm.
We should, like in 6 months from now, we should do like a halfway point and meet up and we could all talk about how we're feeling, how it's going on so far.
Ooh, I like
I
that.
love
I
that
like
idea.
that. I'm
I
going to
really
Do
do.
put
that.
that in my calendar right there.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
All right. Ebby.
Um, First and foremost, I want to thank my bestie for coming up with this brilliant idea. Next time I see you, I'm gonna kiss your brain.
You're
Um,
welcome.
Anytime I'm with the bestie and the biffle, it's a great time, and I enjoyed talking with you, Ring Rant, and Laugh too. Like I love you guys already. I am 216 Beanie Baby on Instagram and TikTok for as long as TikTok keeps TikToking. Um, and you can catch me and the lovely Richie Mars on Tuesdays for our NXT with NX We live. And on Fridays when I fill in for the wonderful, incomparable, forever brilliant pro wrestling wizard Doug. And for him and Richie's SmackDown Live. And soon you can find me and the bestie on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube for our upcoming podcast. And it is called You're Gonna Want to Sit Down for This.
Very nice. Doug's a great guy. Someone should date him. But anyway, that's neither here
You
nor
know?
there.
Someone is.
Someone
Very
should
much
really just snatch him up.
Somebody should date him.
Somebody did. Snatch.
So,
I love how she didn't even leave any time for us to come around to her and for her to be like, yeah, he's mine. She's like, no, snatched. Okay, he's mine.
Yes.
That's real.
as long as it wasn't like the Finding Nemo, mine, 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 mine,
Why?
mine,
Why?
mine,
Why?
mine.
Why?
We do that on our spare time, but I'll spare you guys that. But yeah.
Don't worry about it. Anyway, laugh. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I want to say I appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me for this. This was a great time. I love talking about John Cena with great people. and I love just talking about wrestling with people who aren't gonna try to scream at you over everything that you say that they disagree with, because I'm
For
worn
sure.
out. TikTok has been a long ride.
In this community, are you
Yes,
kidding me?
I've
TikTok has
seen.
been a
I've
long.
seen.
It's been a long ride. I've been through the ups and downs, and I know all of us are sad about TikTok, but part of me is like, yay, I don't got to deal with this
Oh my goodness.
no more. But I appreciate y'all for real. You can find me anywhere at Laf Not Famous. If TikTok goes bye bye on Sunday, I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. Um, I make music as well. So if you Google my name, everything pops up. Don't follow me on Twitter because I will be deactivating my account because that is a cesspool too. Um,
Valid.
Yeah.
and oh, this too.
Mm.
Me and my girlfriend do a podcast called The Wrestling Room on YouTube, and I think every podcast, it's every place where you find
Mm.
podcasts at. So if you want to hear me in a higher octave, a lot of times I'm usually on there screaming about how angry I am about something. Um, you can see us yelling about that. And yeah, thank you.
All right, and now the person of the hour, the person that brought us all here today, the one who
Oh
planned
goodness.
this. I will take
I'm
none
preparing
of the
myself.
credit. I'm just here with the room and the questions. Michaila the RIng Queen, please. The floor is yours.
Well, we have to give Richie some of the credit because I don't know how to do any of this. So without Richie, I wouldn't have been able to do this. I wouldn't have been able to execute it. So I cannot take all the credit as much as he's trying to make me take all the
I
credit.
just pushed the red button that says record. That's all I do.
Sure, sure thing. You first off, thank you guys so much for coming. I was so excited to do this. I can't even tell you. I've been looking forward to this all week, because I just when I was thinking about this idea and who I wanted to be on this episode, I had specific people in mind. And it was Ebbi, and it was Ring Rant, and it was Laugh, because I know that you guys are the Cena fans. And I was like,
Yeah.
there's no one else that I would want to have this conversation with. And I'm so glad we did, because this was such a good conversation. And like, I had such a good time. So thank you for coming, first of all. Um, Second of all, you can find me at Michaila The RIng Queen on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Threads. And I'm trying to move everything over to those two places because, again, we don't know how long TikTok's going to be there. So find me wherever you can find me. If you type in Michaila The RIng Queen and you see my face, that's probably it. So go ahead, click that follow button. And of course, me and Ebbi are going to be starting our podcast soon. You can sit with us. We're really excited for that. And then I'm also going to be doing some John Cena videos. And if TikTok's not going to be around, those will be on Instagram. I'm also going to be posting them on Off the Top Media's YouTube page, so you can also find some of our stuff there too. So I'm really excited for that. So, and I'm excited for this retirement tour. Let's get it.
I'm excited as well, as you could tell by my lovely monotone voice. But
Lovely expression.
it's going to be a fun time, John Cena, again, one of the goats of all time. Even if you don't feel like that, you're wrong. But anyway,
Real.
but he is one of the
Real.
goats.
You're
Literally,
wrong.
Literally
Um,
you're
wrong.
incorrect.
it was so great to like talk with everybody, see everyone's like perspective, and hear everybody's ideas of what they want this tour to be, what they think it's going to be, and just we're telling stories about one of the greatest of all time. But that's going to do it for this episode of Wrestling Retold and Real with Richie Mars. Of course, Richie Mars. You could follow me at Retold Richie Mars on the Instagram, the YouTube, and the TikTok for now, depending on what goes on. Maybe I'll go to Tout. That worked out well. But
Can we bring it back?
we're gonna bring back Tout. I'm so
Yes.
excited. We're gonna
I'm
br-
so
we're
excited
gonna bring
for
back
it.
Tout so
I've
much.
been waiting to tout something.
Uh,
Tout got something I want to say.
so
I'm ready.
so look out for Tout, and you could find these podcast episodes every Tuesday on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you ever want to ask any wrestling related questions, you could be free to email us at retoldrichiemars at thegmail.com. So that's going to do it for this episode. TTFN, ta ta for now, and we will see you next time.